look at. The bottles getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, Pump Sports Radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
All right, yo, what's up, everyone? We're a little bit late. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. He's Jimmy the Bag up here, Loshak. We do this every Tuesday. We're usually a little bit late, usually a little bit behind, rushing to find those edges, baby. And that's the case today. You know, it'll be another interesting card. I'm a little bit behind. I capped 90% of the card, not 100%, but 90%. I think it's going to be fun. We got the comment section. Of course, last week, I wore this new Marc Jacobs top, which, I was hoping would change my luck a little bit. I had a bad show two shows ago, and it did. So I'm wearing it again. Of course, that's the most important thing. You got to do your research. You got to hang with good people. But most importantly in life, you got to have luck on your side. So I try to make that happen for myself. Jimmy the Bag, how you doing?
I had a rough weekend. The Operation Garcia was very strong. Thank God. Thank God it saved me from a horrific weekend. Right off the hop, we have TJ saying CLV debate doesn't matter. I tracked my action for the last 10 days, beat the line in 34 of 38. Of those 34 plus ZLV spots, he went 10 and 24. I made 4 bets in MLB. The San Francisco-Cincinnati game on Sunday, I got plus 105s on the under 7.5. It closed at minus 130. And, didn't come close to cashing it. Kyle Harrison allowed 3 runs in the top of the first. And then Frankie Montas allowed 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th. No other runs were scored. I'm at my low water mark of the year in MLB. In NBA last night, I was on Thunder first quarter and first half. I had 1 unit on them at plus 9.5 to get a unit back, but just frustrating. So I'm happy to be back in action with you guys. I'm excited about the week because it's the Freakness, Pete. It's the Freakness this week. Saturday, we got the Preakness in Baltimore, Charm City, our Preakness Steak Special, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. Shout out to Jose Bouquett for the thumbnail. Great job, Jose. So I'm very excited about Saturday with you guys. Very excited. So there's a lot to look forward to, but good God, I don't remember being this streaky. I really don't. I don't remember being as streaky. So this year it's just feast or famine. And I'd like to get back to feasting, and I expect to do that with the cappers in the chat. A Viper NB in the house says, "What a collapse by the New York Rangers." Shake my head now. That collapse is not finished yet. We've seen Vegas last year against Dallas go up 3-0, win the series in 6. That could happen here. So that was against Dallas, of course, but we'll see how it bangs out. Nuke Worker says, "Good morning, fellas. Already locked in Florida minus 1.5 at plus 130. I moved on Florida. Florida was good. Live betting's been good, but the pre-game betting has not been good enough. I got a chance to live bet the Panthers down in game 4. Which is very easy. Tori Coker in the house says NHL was smooth. Hurricanes money line parlay, OKC money line. Yeah. Tori Coker says his best bet on the board is Knicks and the under. I'm very, very interested in the Knicks and the Nuggets, but I want to talk that. I haven't moved on those. I've moved on both hockey games, so we're ready to rock. I've moved on 2 baseball games, made 3 bets on 2 baseball games. So I'm excited, but I'm going to copy and paste our guy Tori's action here for the Knicks and the under. Joey Marinaccio, Aubrey Travis, Gerald Jones. Best bet for Gerald Jones is the Cubs Braves first 5 under 4.5. Let's get that copied and pasted as well. Pete, you have been very strong since we've united. Very few bad shows, and each time you have a bad show, you change your wardrobe.
Yes. I do what I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you do.
If you can't get better strategies, if you can't get better friends, just try to get better clothes. That's all you can do. Sometimes that's all you can do.
Robert Martin, Joey Harb, the truth teller. Jay Smooth Balls play of the day's 2-team parlay. Paddock over 4.5 strikeouts. Reds team total over 3.5. for smooth balls. I'll put that right under Gerald Jones's action right there. We got serious business ready to get to work. Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper, says, happy Quinn Priester Day. I know not everybody feels that way. Old E, ready to get to work. Great to see you, Old E. Great to see all you guys. So let's get to work. Rob McMahon, ready to go. Rocco Rogers. And shout out to Rocco Rogers, who's been crushing the blocked shots prop. Also, Rocco Rogers has been telling us for how long? For 6 weeks, for 2 months to bet Matthias Ekholm props. Yelling at us to bet Matthias Ekholm props. And Rocco Rogers' goal for Ekholm in 3 straight games. Great job. HVAC Girl in the house, currently adding Freon to an air conditioner tuning in. Shout out to HVAC Girl. Steve G says Nishushkin single-handedly took out the Avalanche. What a travesty to a great season. He's not welcome back. We move on to next year. Congratulations, Dallas Stars. It's 2 playoffs in a row. It's sad. It's sad. It's too bad. He is a hell of a hockey player. It's sad. Chosen one is on the Phillies, first 5 minus a half and full game. There's Wine Time Sports in the house. Pete, do you keep a close eye on what our guy Wine Time Sports does in NBA and MLB on X? Are you a follower of Wine Time Sports on X?
I mean, I am. I don't even sometimes have time to do my friggin' laundry, let alone follow Wine Time Sports' NBA. But is he killing it? Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I do follow him.
He's very, very good. Very good. I'm that Heat says CLV doesn't really matter in MLB. Says just the team, says there's no point spread, just the team winning or losing at the end of the day. Do you agree with that, Pete?
I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, if I agreed with it, there's no way in hell I'm going to go on camera publicly and say that. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like if someone accuses you of a crime, if you didn't do it, you're going to say you didn't do it. If you did do it, you're going to say you didn't do it. So asking them is kind of pointless.
Yeah, we learned that in The Fugitive. Sometimes yes means no. Sometimes no means yes. And from Rosie Perez, we learned that sometimes when you win, you really lose, Pete. Sometimes when you lose, you really win. Look, I understand that CLV... There's some things about CLV that are interesting. One, if you do this full time, you may see the public play before the public. So you may see that, and you're not going to get rewarded for seeing the public play before the public. You'll get 30 or 40 cents of CLV and lose. So there's lots of different ways of looking at it. I still think it is important. I still think it gives you an idea of what the market feels, but I hear what you're saying. I'm at Heat. Robert Martin ready to go. Jeffrey Moore Stars at 22-1 to win the Cup. MLB spreadsheet play today. Dog is the Cubs at plus 175. Ron Crawford with the MLB spread. Ron Crawford's been giving out a lot of dogs in his spreadsheet plays today as well. So we're seeing a lot of plus money spots from our guy Ron Crawford.
So you look at Dan Kelly, there's someone who just really just has it made and just truly doesn't give a fuck. He goes, CLV equals way overrated. That's someone who's just like, I'm going to say what I really think.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan Kelly.
Look, I get it. I absolutely get it. Subhuman Gaucho gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Subhuman Gaucho hockey play of the day, Pete, is plus 16.08 units on 47 bets. Subhuman Gaucho's hockey play today. It's Rodriguez over 2.5 shots on goal at plus 145. Lucky Lefty in the house, ready to rock and roll. Great to see all of you guys. Von Polo, Eric Swiatek. Do you remember our guy Eric Swiatek? He was
of course
part of our show.
Of course, baby.
Very sharp capper.
Isn't he from Canada?
No, I think he's from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe he's from Cleveland, Ohio. Rodney Barton, Nasty Nate, my dude. Everybody ready to go, so let's go. Dan Kelly, Slatsy in the house. Great to see all of you guys. Steve G, defending what he said. Yeah, if you can't count on somebody, it doesn't matter how good they are. That's what it comes down to. So I hear that. Stacks play of the day is in from Justin McKelvey. It's the Mets team total over 3.5. And Stimmy big on the Timberwolves plus 4.5 and the money line. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I look forward to talking it out. And that's part of the reason why I haven't moved on it. I do find the Knicks more appealing at this point than the Nuggets. we'll talk about it. AOD says Jort's season almost. It's still cold up here, unfortunately. AOD ready, got everybody ready to rock. So let's get after it. Oh, Gary Tenebra in the house. Nice to see you, Gary. We've missed you, man. Mr. Heat ready to go. Chang Kim ready to go. 2 top bets. Please bless me. Well, I mean, I already know what mine would be. I think there's a couple on the board here, but I certainly know what mine would be. And it'll be in the very first game, Peter. So let's get to work in NHL, my friend. East, second round, game 5. NHL playoffs. But first, let's pull up, Jose, let's pull up the NHL playoff pool. Things are getting very tight. And with the possible elimination of the Colorado Avalanche, things will get even tighter. Now, losing the Coyotes will hurt Mama Bag as well, who's our new leader right now at 213. So losing the Hurricanes will hurt her. Losing the Avalanche will hurt her. So she's not destined to, because it's very possible that the Oilers, Avalanche, and Hurricanes all get eliminated from the playoffs here. So TJ sitting in second. Now he only has McKinnon and Rantanen on the Avalanche, and he only has Aho on the Hurricanes. So he would probably be in the best shape here. But again, he needs to make sure that the Hurricanes don't come back and get down to business here. I am in 9th right now, and I just need to stay away ahead of Jose. He's 4 points behind me. That is the only person I need to worry about. Jose finally got some 5-on-5 glory from Martinook. And that's all you're going to get from Jordan Martinook, who's a hell of a player. A hell of a player. Jesper Fast is not coming back, and unfortunately, he's got Big Val Nichushkin, who will no longer be helping. So it's gonna be very interesting, especially if the Avalanche get eliminated here. It will be an evener of sorts. But Mama Bag up front, TJ in second, Earl.
Wait, what happened to Nichushkin?
Nichushkin is gone.
I'm just joking.
Okay. Yeah, he's gone. Oh, that's that will make Steve G even angrier. That will make Steve G even angrier. DC Capper ready to go. Kelly McInnes in the house. Dabra Kadabra, Kong's Clips. Great to see all of you guys. Leonard Porsche Jr. Power said my area got tornadoes last night. Power restored, no damage to the house. Being in adventure last 18 hours. Glad that you are safe, Leonard Porsche Jr. And I do believe, Leonard, that we were the only 2 people other than Dennis Garcia that still be hitting Operation Garcia, and we were richly rewarded this weekend, which was very, very helpful. Okay, let's get to work here. Peter Loshak, take it away and lead us in the NHL.
All right. Well, we're starting with Boston, Florida, right? Of course, Florida's up 3-1, one last 3 in a row. Florida is just too good. I forgot what I thought. I think I took a shot at the beginning of the playoffs thinking like, maybe everyone thinks they're great. They're going to be overrated. I think maybe I took a lot of Tampa Bay guys in the pool. I don't remember exactly what I did, but Florida, obviously the real deal, right? Deep, the goaltending, everything. And Boston, you were talking about that all year long, Jimmy the Bag. Boston was like maybe a little bit overrated this year, and here they come in, and now Marchand is banged up. So I don't know. I mean, people talk about like the psychological impact of an elimination game. Sometimes teams will let down a little bit. Maybe they got it in the bag. So I don't know. Seems to me though that Florida is going to want to wrap it up here. They're going to be able to. The line is a huge line, but before I hear what you guys have to say about it, my thought is even at minus 200, Florida might be a good play, and also some Florida props. Some player props, the star guys to step up. Maybe Reinhart over 3.5 shots at plus money. Kachuk to get an assist. I think I'm going to throw that one on there. But I mean, Florida's just too good, right? Is there any way that they let down and lose this one, Jim?
I mean, there's always a possibility. I think it was the game 4 at home in Boston, which was their chance, that first game without your star player. That didn't go through. They're in big trouble. And they've shown a lot of heart and character this year. There's no shame in ousting the Leafs in 7 games and then losing to the Panthers in 5. Swayman's been very good, 2.28 goals against average, 930 save percentage. Bobrovsky's been solid, 892 save percentage isn't excellent. The Boston penalty kill is now being stymied, which is a big issue here. So, look, I'm surprised at this line. There's been a big buyback on these Bruins. I'm surprised. Very, very surprised. The Panthers got up to minus 216. That was at 7:12 in the morning yesterday. I thought I was going to beat this line move heavily. I got minus 196 on the money line as part of my minus one. Was it minus 196? Yeah, and plus 138. I legitimately thought I'd beat this line move by 25 cents. And now we're sitting here with the Panthers just a minus 198, just 4 cents of movement. The only thing I've been doing well here in this series, in the playoffs, is the first period unders.
Mm-hmm.
And, they keep delivering for me. It's the only angle I've been succeeding with. Yeah, BJ, I get it. I'm right there with you. I'd probably take the -2, but I'm right there with you. Rem Most very excited that the blouse is back. You went 12-3 with the blouse. Not like you're going to stop wearing it after an incredible 12-3 spot. NJ Striker in the house. So, the Panthers are going to finish the series here. And I wonder now, talking about this out loud, if this is another great opportunity for a first period under 1.5. Florida.
Well, I mean, you would know this, Jim. You got a team like the Panthers. They do what they do. They're at home. They're up 3-1. What are they like? Is this like an under, or are they going to be like, we got this one. We'll let Boston score a few goals and we'll get the win and move on? Because unders take effort, right?
They do take effort, but the Matthew Tkachuk is Sidney Crosby-esque, where he's going to get, and Sam Bennett. I mean, these guys are going to get the most out of the players on their team. Everybody's fine. Like, there's just there's no one's questioning the work ethic right now from the Panthers. They outshot Boston 41-18. Boston's in that game 4. Boston's not getting shots. So in game 2, Boston had 15 shots. Game 3, 17, and game 4, 18. Well, you're going to lose all those games. You're going to lose this one too. So in game 4, the Panthers had 14 high danger shots. The Bruins had 6. Charlie McAvoy, whom is spectacular, hasn't taken a shot on goal, or he's had some that have been blocked, but doesn't have a shot on goal in the series. That's not acceptable. And McAvoy's got to get some pucks to the goddamn net. So Pasternak also. Pasternak scores a power play goal. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe this when I read this. He had 1 power play goal in his final 34 games of the regular season. And then the first 10 of the playoffs, just 1 power play goal over 44 games. And Boston hadn't scored at all on the man advantage in their first 11 opportunities against Florida. Marchand in concussion protocol. Aubrey Travis says nobody's on the Bruins. Nobody I know. Steve G says back to the well, swim in first period under. I'm going to add the first period under. I do think that if Boston plays their very best, that they should keep the Panthers to a goal. And in the first period under, in the last one, it didn't go through, right? The last one was, let me pull this up. But yeah, I'm on the Panthers -1 line. Series ends tonight. It's all fun and games if people think the Bruins are going to show enough character to deliver here. That's cute. And, you get a big plus line. Yeah, the first period under didn't catch. The full game under did in that Florida. I was on both. But yeah, so look, I'm on the Panthers -1. I'm gonna go with Steve G. I'm gonna add the first period under 1.5. And if the Bruins take a lead, you can't bet it right away. That's the problem when you're this big of a favorite as Florida. You can't bet. It just doesn't. You don't want to be down 1-0 and have it at a pick 'em. There has to be a plus sign beside the live bet on the Florida Panthers. So just wait for that opportunity and then attack it. So it's multifaceted. You have Florida to win the game. You're going to take Florida if the Bruins take a lead. Hopefully it's not too early. Hopefully it's late in the first period. And then the first period under 1.5. And yeah, a lot of talk about Slats saying Panthers to win the East at -110. Thank God we moved on them. We got them. And we were a little late to the party too, but we got 10-1 for the Cup, 5-1 for the conference. So just keep rolling, Panthers. Keep rolling. And at this point, if the Carolina Hurricanes win 4 straight against the Rangers, which is very unlikely, I'd be very nervous about playing them. So at this point, I would prefer, even though it sounds crazy, I would prefer to play the Rangers now and not a Carolina Hurricane team that comes back from 3-0 against the Rangers. Pete, what are you making official here for yourself?
Well, I'll definitely chuck on Matthew Tkachuk assist. Yes, at -105. That's pinnacle. I'm going to throw on Sam Reinhart over 3.5 shots at +124 at Bet Online. Bunch of other. I'd love to chuck on just to chuck point at -2 whatever, but that's a double up there. But I think he's going to get something here, and I guess that's about it. I do want to take Florida -1. I just I don't know. It's just expect the unexpected. But then again, if the unexpected happens, you're not getting killed. You lose you lose a unit and a half or a unit and a quarter, whatever it is. Florida's just that good, aren't they? And now Marchand is banged up, right?
Marchand is banged. I don't see an avenue for the Bruins to win a hockey game. I don't. And Newkirk says Panthers definitely don't want to go back to Boston. I that can't be hammered home more. They have to finish this series now. They have to have a rest advantage on the winner of Hurricanes Rangers. All that is imperative. So I'm right. I'm right with Nuke. The series ends tonight. There's no,
and they're that good, right? Florida's that good for real, right?
They are a complete hockey team.
All right. I'll add them on. Pinnacle, Florida, -1, -128. I'll chuck that one on as well. If it loses, that's okay.
I love it. So we're both on the Panthers. Lamont Williams in the house. Full game under 8.5 in Red Sox, Tampa Bay Rays. That's Slick, Nick Pavetta, and Aaron Savali. I've got that copied and pasted, my friend Lamont. Thank you for sharing that with us. Steve G says Boston's weak up the middle in these playoffs. Charlie Coyle is delivering human type work, but it's just not enough. There's no way you can lose Bergeron and Krejci and figure it out. So, that's done. Let's move on to game 2. We are locked and loaded there for game 1. Let's talk game 2. Pete, take it away.
Yeah, I got Bet Online -1, -127, so I will take that. All right, game 2 is another one that's interesting, right? Edmonton, a huge favorite here. Vancouver's up 2-1. Vancouver looking very impressive. Stuart Skinner not getting it done in goal. How likely is he to be able to bounce back here? I don't know, but thank God we have you, Jimmy the Bag, because you can probably give a very educated answer on that. Silovs for Vancouver has been, quite a revelation, although, I don't think it's a huge surprise that any goalie who's on an NHL roster who then steps in unexpectedly does okay. But he's been good. Stuart Skinner has not been getting it done. Edmonton did way outshoot Vancouver last game. Should they be this big of a favorite? Again, I'm not exactly sure, but there's a few props that I kind of do want for Edmonton. This one, I don't know, man. I mean, Edmonton, maybe Stuart Skinner really does have some issues. Maybe they really don't have depth, and they should win this game. But at -200, I don't know. I guess maybe this is a free play. You throw it on Vancouver. I don't know. What's your take on this one, Jim?
Well, first off, I expect Calvin Pickard to be in between the pipes tonight. That's not being confirmed. That's just the expectation at this point. Aubrey Travis says, so is this -200 line not a real -200 line? I don't understand the question, Aubrey. Can you expand on the question there? And BJ also on the Wolves +4.5. There's razor sharp picks in the house. Razor sharp picks with the Wolves, or 25 hours until race 1 at Delaware Park. And razor sharp picks will be joining us on our Freakness, a live stream on Saturday. He'll be in time for the big race. He just has some stuff to do in the afternoon, family stuff, but he'll be back with us. Back to this spot here. It's pretty simple watching this series to me. And for the Edmonton Oilers to win, they need McDavid and Draisaitl to both play spectacular. They need Draisaitl and McDavid's very best game. Draisaitl, other than the second half of the game that he's been hurt, has done that. So he's done that over 2.5 games. McDavid has done that in one game, the one game that they won. They needed McDavid to play otherworldly. Draisaitl and McDavid to be by far the best players in the world to beat the Canucks. That's the situation right now with the way Shilovs is playing with Big Z. Now it's going to be a little easier with Carson Soucy not playing D for the Canucks because Soucy and Big Z they have some toughness on that defense that they haven't had. Tyler Myers is you can just knock him over very, very easily. He's tall, but he's got no toughness. So I expect Pickard to be in between the pipes, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what Pickard's going to give you. I don't think it's going to be much different than what Skinner's been giving you. Now, Skinner is 3.23 goals against average, 877. Save percentage is not very good. I have been taken a little back by the weakness of the Oilers' depth pieces, which I thought was much stronger this year. It's clear when you watch that the Canucks' depth pieces are better than the Oilers' depth pieces at this point. Right now, you have Edmonton at minus 190, 191. The Sharps are on the Canucks, and they have been this whole series. And I get it. From a total scenario, this opened up at 6.5. It dropped to 6 for a little while yesterday morning, and it's back at 6.5. We have a 5-cent move towards the under. Love it. Lamont Williams said on vacation, so he's here all week. I love hearing that. And yes, Panger Life Vander Kane is, of course, a Vancouver kid, Vancouver boy. He's made some questionable life decisions throughout the last 10 or 15 years, but and so is Lucic. It's hard to stand by these guys, honestly, with the stuff that they're doing off the ice. It's very hard to. I'm not going to sit here and be proud of them because it's very difficult to. But they are Vancouver boys. Edmonton power play 46.4%, penalty killing 85.7%. The penalty kill of Edmonton looked so good for a while. It's now looked a little bit vulnerable. Vancouver power play is the exact same number it was in the playoffs, in the regular season, 22.7%. It's just not that good. I don't know why. I can't figure that out. So here we have Artur Shilov's playing spectacularly well. Stops 42 shots. Brock Besser, who I was pretty negative about, clearly it was his dad's death that was hanging over him, and it was very important for the Canucks franchise to stand by him. Whereas I thought it was a sign of weakness, and let's get rid of him. And that was a poor take by me. It was probably pretty mean and shallow with no compassion. But this is a business, and I wanted him out. But he is being so good, and that was a big mistake in my take. Quinn Hughes and JT Miller delivering. JT Miller is so good. So good. So here we have the power plays leading the way. I don't know how. I understand by watching the 5-on-5 play that this is an under series. I don't see how you can do that with these power plays and the weakness of the penalty killing. Edmonton went 2 for 4 on the power play last game. Canucks went 2 for 3. As we already gave a shout out to Rocco Rogers, Matthias Ekholm goals in 3 straight playoff games. Rocco Rogers eating off of that. First Oiler defenseman to score a goal in 3 straight playoff games since Paul Coffey in 1985. Draisaitl has points in all 8 of Edmonton's playoff games this season. He's been so good. 7 goals.
Jim, sorry, can you hold on a second? Don't take me off. I'm just going to close my freaking windows, okay?
Yeah, do your thing, man. Draisaitl as well, 6-game streak. I think it's going to be a loss. Yolson is going to have to come in for Carson Soucy. Soucy, 4 assists. He's a +3. He was a +10 in 40 regular season games. He came back from injury. He's been very good. It's going to hurt having Yolson. Yolson had 4 penalty minutes and 11 minutes and 24 seconds of ice time in Game 2 of the Predators series. That's the concern with Yolson, is that he can get beaten, and if he does, he will get, they'll draw penalties off him. So, and Aubrey Travis, I don't bet -200s. We take him on the -1 line. We have a -1 calculator if you need it to cut the juice off of that. So with all that said and done, I'm on the Edmonton Oilers in this. I'm going to be on the team that's out shooting the opposition 3-1 and has their backs against the wall. And it's very expensive. And the Sharps are on the other side. And I get it. Am I going to want the Canucks in Game 5? At home. I mean, let's not even worry about that right now. I just think with the Oilers' backs against the wall, with the Canucks minus Soucy, with the Oilers getting 3-1 shots on net, not only will I be backing the Oilers as if the Canucks get up 1-0, or especially if it's not in the first 5 minutes, but I don't see how watching this series you wouldn't want to back the Oilers in Game 4. Now, you need McDavid to play out of this world because Draisaitl's doing that, and the other pieces aren't. So the Canucks have more depth, a ton of confidence, but I'm on the Oilers -1 here. I also, something I rarely do, is I wanted a little more action. So I did put a little bit of money, like a half unit, on the Florida Oilers parlay. So there you go. That's it for me. Kuchi destroyed McDavid 2 assists. I looked at this SGP with McDavid, with the Oilers over 3.5, with McDavid over 1.5 points, with McDavid over 3.5 shots. You can't put them all together. The books screw you. They'll give you no reward for the over 1.5 and the over 3.5 shots because it's too correlated. So there was just not enough value on that. Panger Life says Pickard will get lit up. and Pickard confirmed. Yeah, that's what we thought. I think it's the right move. I don't see. Look, is he going to have a save percentage below 0.877? I doubt it. I don't see why. I think it's the right move to go back to Pickard. Take it away, Pete. I'm on the Oilers -1. What's your plan?
All right. Well, what I'll definitely take, I'll take Nugent Hopkins assist. Yes, at +100 bet online, +100 bet online. And then, yeah, I've definitely noticed Ekholm. I'm in my notes here, Ekholm point at +140, question mark. Do we expect him to continue? Any reason that won't continue?
I fear that you're late to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, but I expect the Oilers to win this hockey game, so I expect them to score 4 goals. So, you'd have to think that Ekholm could get in on one of them. He's been playing spectacularly well, but I fear that the goal prop Rock has been cashing at like 8-1 every game.
Yeah. All right, I'll go for it one more time. Not a goal prop, but I'll take point. Matthias Ekholm point, and that'll be a +141. That's the current line at Bet Online. Ekholm point +141. If he gets shut out, okay, I lost a unit, and then it was a plus money bet. So I'll take Ekholm +141. Bet Online, and then all right. I guess that's it. People are expecting, but isn't Edmonton going to clamp down defensively at least to start, or you think they don't even have that capability here against Vancouver?
No, I think they got to go 0 to 100. I think they got to have all. I think they got to swarm the Canucks, completely swarm them, and then trust that Pickard can make some saves. It's not. Let's be cautious and comfortable. No, it's let's attack them with every ounce of our body.
And what the hell did happen to Kane? Why have his shot stopped? Is he? What's wrong with him?
He's got the hernia, the sports hernia. He should have had the surgery in February. It should have been an LTIR situation. So, I mean, he's playing through it, but he's so slow out there. Corey Perry's so slow out there. It's a problem when you have these vets that are just a little bit too slow. I'd be nervous about having Kane and Perry out there. Honestly, you don't want them to be in any kind of battle race for a puck, especially defensively. You're screwed. So you think he's definitely kind of banged up? I'm thinking about taking his shot prop under on this one. You think he's definitely nicked up a little bit? I mean, in the LA series, he was all right, right? I mean, he's been dealing with this for a long time, but he's skating slow out there. Look, he's a guy who can score, and he's big, and he can get in. You can do a lot of things for you, but he's just slow. He's just slow. I don't trust him at all. I would try to keep as much as I could Perry and Kane. I would never, if there was a defensive zone face-off, I would not have Kane and Perry on the ice.
Okay, just very, very quick then. Why did he have a pretty decent series against LA though?
Look, I don't know if you're saying, does he really have a sports hernia? Because yes, he has a sports hernia.
Yeah. No, I'm saying why didn't it affect him then? Yeah.
Look, I don't have those answers, Pete. I can't help you, but I can just tell you that he is playing through an injury.
Yeah.
If you want to, if the only way I would look is unders with him here, but he can. All his shots on net are going to come within 6 or 7 feet of the crease.
Robert Martin can answer. I will wait for Robert Martin's answer. But yeah, I'm leaning under props for Kane as well. But for now, just those 2 official plays, Jim.
Let's roll. There's our guy Turnsey in the house. Great to see you, Turnsey. Our guy, perfect timing, NHL playoffs. But the only addition for me is I'm going to have the first period under 1.5 in Boston, Florida. That'll be my only addition. I'm on the Panthers and the Oilers. I also, Steve G says Zadorov is a man amongst boys out there. I don't know how any team would get rid of Zadorov. It just makes no sense. A 5th and a 3rd for him. That's what we traded. I mean, what a deal. And then looking at Sam Bennett, injuring Marchand and scoring the controversial game-tying goal in front of the net, and thinking that Brad Treliving got rid of him for nothing, and he still has a job. I mean, I don't know how these old dudes just keep getting cycled through different teams. They should just be sent out to pasture. But you're right, Steve. He's been spectacular. So, for me here, if Chang Kim wants the best bet for me and the best bet from Peter, then it would be the Panthers. But I would just tie the Panthers and the Oilers together is what I would do. Now, can the Canucks win this game by getting outshot 3-1 again today? I just don't think they can. If they're going to keep getting outshot, 3-1, the chances of them succeeding are slim. It's possible, but I think it's slim. So for me, Chang, I would take Florida Oilers or use Florida. Pete, review your action here, my man.
All right. We got Kachuk, assist, -105. Reinhardt, over 3.5 shots, +124. Florida, -1, -127. Then we got Nugent Hopkins, assist, +100. Matthias Ekholm, point, +141. And leaning hard towards Kane, either no point at like -160 or under 2.5 shots at -130 or so. Might shut that one on at the end of the show.
Yeah, I like it. I get it. Steve G says McDavid got rocked. Glad he's okay after that hit. He likes it. He's never been able to step up so far in his career in this situation, and I'm betting on him to do it. And look, I've lost money in the past betting on McDavid to step up and the Oilers to step up. And the only action I have in the future market was before the season started, and it was to win the Cup. I didn't take him to win the West. I didn't take him to win the division. I did nothing. I just, So, I mean, for me, the Panthers are more important than the Oilers. But I'm going to go back to the well. And you know what? Also, if any team is out shooting a team 3-1, I'm going to back them. And you could say, look, their goaltending is so suspect that it's a mistake. Shelov's as great as he's been, and he's been so good. He's got a .908 save percentage in the playoffs. So we'll see how it all bangs out. Slatsy says, your thoughts on Canes -170 next game? Well, I've now lost on 2 draws, and that's fine. I'm going to go on the third draw. I'm going to take the draw. I think the Canes -1 is too expensive, Slatsy. I've been trying to find a way to get there, but I find it too expensive at this point. Would I like to have, the first period under 1.5? The draw and the Hurricanes -1, maybe. I will be on the under 1.5 in the draw. That under 1.5 is cashing for us in that series. And so I'll be on the first period under 1.5. I should have already bet it. I'm surprised that I haven't bet it yet. I can't wait to talk that game out. I just think it might be too expensive for the Canes -1. Okay, let's.
All right, Jim. I can add on Kane. No point, -154. Bet online.
Yeah, I like it. My only concern is I do think the Oilers are going to score 4 goals.
Right.
But I mean, he's not. He does not look good. So I get the spot. He's not looking very good out there. And all of it, everything for him comes within 7 or 8 feet of the net. So it's not like you're going to get a nice second assist. The only way he'd get an assist if it was off of a rebound.
Right.
All right, let's roll into MLB here. And I had a bad week. And then on Friday, I went 6-4 plus 1.52 units. And it was unlucky. It should have been a bigger day. And I was like, okay, let's get some momentum. And then Gausman got lit up. And then Harrison got lit up. And I dealt with the consequences. I'm in my low water mark of the season. I don't have a lot of confidence right now. So I'm just going to be setting things up for you guys and hoping to get back in business. It's extremely frustrating to be sitting where I'm sitting right now. But I do roll with 2 cappers who are having a very successful baseball season. Peter, you've done a great work thus far this year, and so has our guy, Jose Bouquett. So without further ado, let's welcome the star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101 and Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome Jose Bouquett to the program. Jose, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Okay day yesterday. It was semi-annoying. I have to rearrange the screen here, so we're going to look a little weird for a second. But not a bad day. It was a little annoying, like I said, because we went 2-2. I had the Mets yesterday, and they fucking fumbled the bag royally with an Edwin Diaz blown save there. So it could have been a 3-1 day, but that is what it is. So we move on to today. It's nice to see everyone in the chat. Nice to see you, Pedro, as always. I love your look today, of course. I'm glad you believe in luck.
No, I was going to say, you're like, we're going to look weird for a couple of seconds here. I've looked weird 90% of the days of my life that I've been alive. It's not that bad.
Okay, good. Well, we are back to looking normal. So there we go.
Awesome. I love those 10% of the days where I do look normal.
All right,
Love
let's
'em.
get to work, fellas. Let's get to work. We start with afternoon MLB action, 1:10 p.m. Eastern. The Philadelphia Phillies 29-13, 14-6 on the road. The New York Mets 19-21, 10-13 at home. Let's go to the weather here for our afternoon action. 72 Fahrenheit, 8.6 miles per hour to left field, gets up to 9.3 left center. So it's really center, slightly over to the left. We have Aaron Nola going up against Jose Bouquett. Let's start with the line history here. We're going to be using Pinnacle lines. Now, Jose will be using Bet Online lines, so we'll get both sides of the coin. This opened up with the Phillies minus 130 and got up to minus 152 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 3 minutes ago. Since then, it's been buyback, all buyback. The Phillies got down to minus 131. They're now minus 135. So 5 cents of movement towards the Philadelphia Phillies. Then from a total side of things, we have an 8, minus 108 to the under. Opened up at 7.5, a half run move towards the over. Let's get into the cash flow here as well. From a cash flow perspective, we are sitting here with 81% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Phillies. On the total here, we have 96% of tickets and 96% of the cash on the over. Aaron Nola coming off 5-3 loss at home versus the Jays. Went 5 2/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, 7 games, no walks in that loss. He's been good this year. 3.67 ERA, 1.20 whip. Jose Bouquett coming off a 7-5 win at the Cardinals. He went 5 innings, led 3 earned runs, 3 Ks, and 3 walks. He's got a 3 ERA, 1.15 whip on the year. K to walk ratio, not where they want it. 34 Ks and 17 walks, has allowed just 3 jacks. Phillies are hitting 256, 761 OPS versus righties, hitting hard. Mets are hitting 239, 686 OPS versus righties, not hitting hard at all. And then where is the advantage? It is the bullpen. And I know that Diaz messed up last night, but 2.89 ERA, 1.19 whip, converted now just 10 of 16 save opportunities. And Phillies bullpen 4.37 ERA, 1.36 whip, converted 13 of 19 save opportunities. Wine Time says really leaning towards the under in this one. There's Rem Most in the house, Sean Pulliam, Joey Work ready to get to work. Take it away here, Jose Bouquett. Get us started. We'll be going back and forth between you guys. Jose, get us started with Phillies Mets.
Are you sure? Because Pete's gonna. Pete, you ready today? You're gonna tell me that I'm gonna go first every time, so you can finish up your.
I mean, I could always use an extra 30 seconds here and there. I'll take any 30 seconds I can get.
You're right. I forgot. Yeah. So
no, so I'll go first then. Yeah, no worries. Pete can do your thing over there. But shout out to by the way, where is your name? I already forgot. Jake Flanagan. I stake betted Jake Flanagan, Phillies Mets yesterday. Of course, he won that one. However, I did take a stake from Mike M, which was quite funny. The Cardinals Angels yesterday. Unfortunately, I went against your guy, but I'm glad I went full game and not first 5 there. But yeah, for this game, I had no action. I did kind of look at the under in this game because 96% of the bets and 96 and 96 again. Percent of the bets and money were on the over. I looked under, but this allegedly opened up at a 7.5, now an 8. So I ended up staying off here, and I didn't want to fade Nola, but if it was up to me, I'd probably be on Mets again, honestly. But no action for me here.
Yeah, I would if I got a free bet, I'd be on the Mets as well. I don't think I can. I'm really flustered right now with MLB, and don't want to start my card here at this point, but maybe Pete will lead us towards it. Pete, Phillies, Mets, take it away.
Yeah, I was definitely leaning Mets at the current line. Don't know if I want to pull the trigger on it, but Philly a little bit banged up. And, I think Budo's roughly a wash with Nola right now. I mean, Budo's been I'd grade Nola higher, but not that much higher. I also kind of like the Budo over 4.5 strikeouts, which is now at plus money at Caesars, but still, minus 120 at Pinnacle. So that's a little bit odd. Yeah, definitely leaning Bouquett over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money and the Mets at plus money as well. I don't know. Yeah, I'll pull the trigger. Oh, fuck it. I'll take the Mets. I'll take them. Plus 123 at Pinnacle. Sure, why not?
Huh. Yeah, I get it. I don't know if I can get there though. I guess we got a little bit more time here. That one pops off in an hour and 18 minutes. Let's move on to the double dip. The double dip in Chicago, Illinois, where at Guaranteed Rate Field. For the Washington Nationals, the Nasty Nats, 19-20, 12-10 on the road. The Chicago White Sox, 12-29, 8-13 at home all of a sudden. Trevor Williams going up against Chris Flexen. Trevor Williams, 4-0, 1.96 ERA, 1.06 whip. He's been spectacular. You put him up against the Orioles, and you're like, okay, well, this is where he gets touched, and he shuts them down. Not only did he shut them down 5 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts for Trevor Williams. And Chris Flexen, looking good. Coming off 4-1 win at the Rays, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, 1 walk. Remember when he was thought of as a possible, entity for the next decade with the Mariners? Chris Flexen, 4.29 ERA, 1.21 whip. He's been pretty good. Now, he doesn't get strikeouts when you need them, but he can get soft contact. The Nats versus righties, just 233, 690. The White Sox, just 218, 619. Neither team hitting righties at all, and both bullpens pitching quite well. Nats bullpen 3.60 ERA, 1.36 whip, converted 12-18. The White Sox bullpen 4.13 ERA, 1.41 whip. Right when I thought they were going to completely fall apart, the White Sox bullpen has been good. This total down to 7.5. It opened up at 8. Interestingly enough, it also went up to 8.5 before this huge move to the under. Just shocking. It's juiced to the under too at 7.5. So we have a real legitimate move to the under. On the money line, the Nats are sitting at minus 106. They open up at minus 104. Just 2 cents of movement towards them. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 83% of tickets and 76% of cash on the over. It's just wild that it's moved. I guess that's including. It's a strange. From the money line here, we have 73% tickets, 69% cash on the Nats. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquett. Nationals, White Sox, game 1 of the double dip.
Yeah, that line's interesting. It was weird. When this game was going yesterday, the line is moving towards the Nationals all day. And then that snapped back when I don't know, maybe it just went back to what it opened up at, and then it immediately went back to this for the tomorrow or for yesterday's game for today. Now it's very interesting. Like I think the White Sox might be a little frisky in this game, but I didn't move on it. I honestly do think the Nationals are a decent squad, and I don't want to be, as they say, first to the funeral for Trevor Williams here. He's been pitching phenomenally. I would say he's been the best pitcher in the league for what we expected of him specifically. Like, journeyman, just meh pitcher, but his 4-0 just been great this year. And, maybe he gets traded. Who knows? But I ended up staying off this game. I was more interested in the second game, honestly.
Yeah. What do you think about this spot? Pistol Pete, take it away. Nationals, White Sox.
I actually skipped it because of the doubleheader situation, so haven't looked into it too closely at all.
So let's talk about game 2 then, Jose. Mitchell Parker, the lefty, up against Eric Fetty. Fetty's been so good of late. Jake Burns, by the way, on the Nats in game 1. And Top Crocodile saying that it's an 8.5 game 1. Jesus, it is. Wow. That's a legit live 8.5 for game 1. Why would they be so off? Why would they be a run worse than everything else? Thank you for sharing that, Top Crocodile. I'm a star.
Yeah, I have 8.5s as well. Minus 120 to the under for game 1, obviously.
Yeah. Wow. It's 7.5 across the entire board here offshore. Why? And it's juiced to the under. Why would some of those books be?
Be right back.
Okay. And Dana's saying 8.5 for DraftKings as well. What? Quickly, Pete, where does that take you when you see the market at 7.5 and like Bet Online and 365 at 8.5?
The market at 7.5 and Bet Online 365 at 8.5.
Yeah.
Wait, is that for real, or are they just like juicing it and just offering different? They're just trying to,
minus 120 on the under 8.5
at Bet Online
and 365, and it's 7.5 market wide.
Yeah, I would probably, I would probably trust Bet Online. I would definitely trust Bet Online there. They don't do stuff like that accidentally.
That is
At the very least, they're trying to balance their own action. That is a weird if discrepancy. Yeah.
That is very, very strange. Let's talk about this Mitchell Parker, Eric Fetty spot. One thing I failed to do in the first breakdown was talk about the weather. First pitch of game 1, 62 Fahrenheit, 11.7 miles per hour to right field. It gets up to 14.1 miles per hour. And then in game 2, I don't believe there's much change. Game 2, it's just a little cooler in the but it starts off at that high level of 14.1 miles per hour to right field. So you have the White Sox against lefties. White Sox are just an abomination against lefties. 190, 531 OPS. Nats versus righties, 233, 690 OPS. Mitchell Parker, we thought there was a possibility of him getting touched at home versus the Orioles. Now, we were on the under in that one, and that was a 7-6 extra inning loss. It was just ridiculous. It was 3-1 with 2 out in the 9th, but we lost that under thanks to Kimbrel. Fetty's been so good. He's coming off a 3-2 win at home versus the Guardians, 6 innings, 6 hits, no runs, 3 Ks, no walks. In that start, we had both Billy Friedrich and Troy tell us that Fetty was going to shove, and they were on White Sox first 5 and other things, and that all came to fruition. It was very easy. The bullpens we talked about have been looking very good of late. So let's take a look at the line history for game 2. This one is at 8. There are 8.5s out there. It opened up at 8.5 and it moved to 8. So we have a half run move towards the under.
Funny, I'm getting 7.5s on this one.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Pinnacle moved it to 8 at. Pinnacle moved it to 8 at 10:41 a.m. So with game 2, there's not a 7.5 offshore. There's not a 7.5 at Bet Online.
Interesting.
What are you looking at? Who's giving you a 7.5?
Just my local. Yeah, I don't. We've had this conversation before about what odds he uses. But yeah, I'm getting a 7.5 minus 110 for the total in this one.
So this is an 8.5 at Bet Online minus 117 to the under. It's an 8 at Pinnacle. Again, this is game 2. Parker Fetty. So for the cash flow for this one, we have 69% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the Washington Nationals. A ton. And then on the total, we have 71% of tickets and 70% of the cash on the over. TJ says game 1 is 8.5 and game 2 is 7.5. Yeah, I have that from Bet365 that is the case here. So I'm right with you, but let's just clarify this right now here, because I'll go over to Pinnacle and have them just. I think this is crucial information for us to move to hammer it. So at Pinnacle, they have the game 1 at 8 and game 2 at 7.5. So interesting. So then what I'm reading, it's possible that that my site is messed up because they're giving me the line on Fetty here at 8. They're giving me the game 1 line 8.5, 8. So maybe they've flipped these 2 games. I think that's probably what's happened here. I think they've flipped the 2 games. That the 7.5 here that they're offering, that this site is telling me is across the board is really for game 2. A bit of a mess up, but I think that is the case. Take it away for us here, Jose. Your plan for game 2?
Yeah, I like Mitchell Parker a lot. He's in my rotation this year, and I'm willing to fade Eric Fetty coming off of a really good start there. 6 innings. What was it, like 1 hit, if any, against the Cleveland? No, 6 hits, 6 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs. There, it was crazy start from him. He was great. He had he had 2, I guess, back-to-back starts of really being really good against the Royals and Twins, and had another 8 2/3 and came back to life there against the Cardinals. I'm going to just think that he comes back to life and gets faded here, or gets crushed here. And the Nationals national numbers against righties are pretty good, and the White Sox numbers against lefties are horrific. So I want to move the Nationals here. I don't know if I want to call it public, I guess. I mean, it is, but at the very least, it's bigger bets on them as well, with 69% of the bets on them, 97% of the money. The line's moving in their direction as well. This opened up at Let me find it here. This opened up at minus 115 and is up to minus 125 and minus 120 in many places. I'm getting a minus. Let me refresh my book here real quick. But I'm getting a minus 109 with my local right now. So I'm going to move on that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in the first 5 under with Parker and Fetty. They're both pitching really well. What do you think of this spot, Pete?
Didn't really look at it, but you know what? I am going to add on Buto over 4.5 strikeouts plus 106 at Caesars. I'll make that official. I don't know why the line is off at Caesars, but I'm going to take it. If my number's wrong, I'll eat it, I guess.
Sorry, what was that? Buto
over 4.5 strikeouts plus 106 at Caesars.
Plus 106.
I don't
Troy Torrance has the final score 4.1 to 3.7. Yeah, it's I'm interested in trusting Parker and Fetty in game 2 off of the hop here, and the site that I use here must be flipped because they've got, it's clear that it's flipped. They got 7.5 across the board in game 1, 8.5 in game 2, so that's not the case. So it's not a big deal that the first game is under 8.5 minus 120. Okay, first 5 under 4 for me. And Jose, did you move on the full game under 7.5?
No, I did not move on the full game. Or the under here. I moved on the Nationals minus 109 full game. Money line.
No, it's minus 109. Okay, let's roll. Next up for us, 6:35 p.m. Eastern with the Toronto Blue Jays 19-22, 10-13 on the road to the Baltimore Orioles 26-14, 14-9 at home at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Charm City, home of the Von Polo family. Let's take a look at the weather here in Baltimore. We're sitting here with light rain to start it off, so it's possible that the game could be pushed. There's also light rain to come in later in the game. 6.3 miles per hour, gets up to 7.3. It's right to left, to the left field pole. Getting to the total here is sitting at 8. It opened up at 8.5, dropped to 8, and then got back to 8.5. This was back at 8.5 at 7:45 this morning until 8:45 for a full hour. Then it got to 8, and now the 8's being hit hard. So now we're juiced to the under 8. Take a look at the money line here for this one. Orioles, Jays, AL East battle. We have the Orioles at minus 160. They opened up at minus 152, 8 cents of movement towards them. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. When we get to the cash flow, we have 90% of the tickets and 88% cash on the over. And then 87% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the Orioles. Chris Bassett coming off a really nice start at the Phillies. 6 in the third, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks. He's had a bad year, but maybe that was a sign that he's turned it around. 5.06 ERA, 1.55 WHIP. Kyle Bradish has had 2 starts. He's looked good in both of them. He's been hit hard a couple times, but just to the right spot. He's been fortunate. Both starts 5 innings, both starts allowing 1 earned run. Jays versus righties 225, 658 OPS. They're terrible. And so are the Orioles. They're not hitting righties. 227, 696 OPS. There's our guy, Christopher Ng, in the house, saying, what up to the pub crew? Need to continue to bring the excitement for the horses. Preakness week. And we are ready to rock, Chris. So I can't wait to rock with you. We're starting again 10:15 in the morning. And also, Churchill Downs starts at 6 at night. It's nighttime races at Churchill, so it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a very, very, very long one. And I can't wait for it. Here we go, Jose. Jays, Orioles, take it away.
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm on the under. I'm on it. Bradish, Bassett, 2 pitchers I can, generally hang my hat on and feel good about. Under 8, I got minus 115 on it for me. There's not much to say. A bunch of money on the over. We took the under, and the lines dropped. It did go up. That was a little concerning, but it came back down, which is nice, and it's getting hammered, like you say, and the money's on the over. So I am on the under. Full game.
Under 8, minus 115 for Jose.
And obviously, I'm worried about Craig Kimbrell and the bullpen blowing it, but it's the game we play.
Leonard Port Jr. says, I don't think it's a bad idea to start the Orioles minus 1 auto play now. I don't know. The thing about the Orioles last year was they were not huge favorites in all these games.
And they're not really. They have like I expected them to be bigger favorites against a lot of teams, but they're still like sometimes surprising short, like minus 120 favorites at times. It's kind of shocking to me, honestly.
I'm not against it, Leonard, but we have our friend Timothy Earl doing it, so we have the data if we want to use it. I'm not there yet. Let's hear. I kind of want to be ahead of the curve on a team that we think is much, but not a team that's dominant right now. Ricky Bobby laughing at the Jays starting to hit. They deserve all the laughter. They're just such a weak offensive team. Peter Loshak, Blue Jays, Orioles.
Yeah, I was leaning first half under for sure, and my numbers also like Baltimore first half a little bit, and Bassett over 1.5 walks. Not sure why that line is as low as it is, but I think I'm going to chuck that one on there. And Bassett under 18.5 outs as well, even though that's a big favorite line. So I don't know if I'll pull the trigger on it. I'm just concerned about the weather. Is this game likely to go off, or what's the situation here? Last night I saw some weather reports saying pretty heavy rain or whatever.
Because I've got light rain now. Let me look at a couple of things here. What is your expectation for the game, Jose?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking Jose. What's your expectation for the game, Jose? Do you think this goes?
It's always tricky with the weather and RotoWire and Swish. I don't know. I guess we've been doing it this year, and you've kind of done this as well. I bet the game like it's going, and if it gets delayed or whatever, then maybe I'm SOL. But I bet it like he was going, even though it's still on RotoWire. So we'll see. I mean, Baltimore and Washington, that DMV area gets a shitload of rain delays and such all the time. And this is an earlier game, right? They could just push it back.
Yeah, but I don't see here the actual weather report here is showers, and then light rain for the game time, and then right back to showers. And then heavy rain doesn't come till like 3 a.m. So there's no like actual heavy rain until later, but it seems like it's going to rain throughout this whole entire game here, which makes me a little uncomfortable. When we move on sides with the rain being involved, I'm fine, but totals makes me a little more nervous. Mikey Money sees intermittent clouds more than rain for this game, and BJ saying heavy rain in Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know how to handle it with this. So, Peter, you moving on the first 5 under?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about it for a couple of minutes.
We got lots of time. Here. Jose,
yeah, I think I'll hold off for now. I also would love to take Bassett over walks, but yeah, maybe the rain is what's causing these numbers to be lower than they should be.
Wine time is on the under 8 in Baltimore, Toronto as well. All right, let's move on to my first spot that I've moved on pre-show. 6:40 p.m. Eastern, Miami Marlins 11-32, 5-15 on the road. At the Detroit Tigers 21-20, 10-11 at home. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. We got Ryan Weathers against Reese Olson. Reese is my guy. I really think he's going to provide a ton of value for us as we move forward. I think he's a really good pitcher. Hasn't allowed a home run yet this year, over 39 in the third. Let's take a look at the weather here at Comerica. 71 Fahrenheit, 10.3 miles per hour left to right, gets up to 12.1 miles per hour. And then let's get into the line history here for this one. On the money line, we have the Tigers at minus 169. They opened up minus 175. I cannot bet the Tigers is this big of a favorite. I mean, capable of doing it. I watch a lot of their games. It's very difficult to trust them to take care of business. This total is sitting at 8. It opened at 8.5, now at 8. I moved on first 3 and first 5 unders here. I still am concerned about the Marlins bullpen. The first 5 under 4.5 is at minus 122 right now, minus 122. I got it at what the hell? Sorry, I got it at minus 114. So I didn't really 8 cents better than what it is right now. And then I got the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 125. I've been trying to stay away from these, but at this point, I have a positive ROI on my first 3 unders, but they're almost always juiced. And right now, the first 3 under 2.5, if I wanted to bet it again, is sitting at the same number, minus 125. So no movement on the first 3 under. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5. Ryan Weathers is coming off a really nice start at the Dodgers. Really nice. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk. he looks stronger, and the Tigers have no power against lefties. 241, 668 OPS. Reese Olson coming off a great start at the Guardians. This was when it all fell apart. My whole season fell apart, 5 days ago, and this game just crushed my spirits here. 2 out in the bottom of the ninth to cash the under 7.5 and cash the Tigers on the plus line, and they allow a fucking home run from a guy who has hit a handful in his career. Marlins bullpen 4.84 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. They've only converted 515 save opportunities. I can't get past that. Tigers bullpen's been very good this year, but they don't close out games like we saw 5 days ago. Converted 12 of 22 saves. But I'm on the first 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5. There's only one other bet I made in MLB pre-show. Take it away, Jose. Marlins Tigers at Comerica.
Yeah, no action for me here. I agree wholeheartedly. I can't take the Tigers at this big of a favorite price. And Reese has been good. I just don't trust the Tigers offense to back them here. And Ryan Weathers is coming off of a pretty good like. I just saw Nasty Nate saying get 100 likes and Jose will get a haircut. That's true. If we get 100 likes, I'll get a haircut tomorrow or today.
Nice.
I just don't trust either squad here to bet them enough, so I stayed off.
What about you, Pistol Pete Loshak, Marlins Tigers?
Yeah, I think it could be a dangerous thing to do, but I do trust Reese Olson once again. So I was thinking maybe just the Olson under 2.5 earned runs. It's a little bit juicy, but it's still, he's got to give up 3 to Miami. He won't go that deep. I will make that one official because if it wins and I don't, I'll be kind of annoyed. I'll take the Heritage line, 2.5 minus 156. Those are earned runs, not unearned runs as well. Olson under 2.5 earned runs minus 156. That's Heritage.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I asked the same question immediately, TJ. I want to know as well. I love it. Loshak on Olson under 2.5 earned runs. Even in that last start, it was the unearned runs that cost. I still kind of just want to fucking lose it. Just such fucking bullshit. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Tampa Bay Rays at the Boston Red Sox. This is Lamont Williams. A max bet under 8.5. Rays 21-21, 7-9 on the road. Red Sox 21-29, 11 at home. We're at Fenway Park, Boston. Let's take a look at the weather. That beautiful ballpark. It is 71 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour to left field, and then dies down to 10.1 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We will start. Got the first 5s up, so why don't we take a look with Slick Nick and Savali. This first 5 under 4.5. There's been a 10-cent move to the over. The over 4.5 opened up plus 107. It's now minus 103. So we've had 10 cents of movement to the over. On the full game, we have had this move to 9 from 8.5. Moved to 9 at 11:30 last night. And like Lamont, I kind of like this pitching matchup. I know that Slick Nick got touched immediately in that last start, his first start since coming off the IL in that 5-0 loss at the Braves. But after that, he pitched pretty well. Still, he only made it through 4 innings and allowed 5 earned runs and 3 homers. But he looked lights out before he went on the IL. And then Savali, coming off an okay start, 4-1 loss at home to the White Sox, didn't look great. It looked great until the very end, until he got touched up in the fifth and was bounced. Rays are hitting 238, 678 OPS versus righties. Red Sox 243, 715. OPS. And this Red Sox bullpen's been so good. 3.19 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. It's interesting when I was going over stats. I mean, at this point, Boston Red Sox are hitting righties much harder than the Orioles. They have a better statistical bullpen than the Orioles. And they're sitting 21-20, and these Orioles are 26-14. It's tricky and hard to believe here. Rays bullpen's still atrocious. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 75% of the tickets, 76% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox. So we know that the total's gone up to 9. What was the money line again? So we have 75 and 76 on the Red Sox, and they're sitting right now at minus 109. They opened up at minus 119. So we had a 10-cent move to the Tampa Bay Rays. When we get to the total here in this one, we have 97% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on that over. DC Capper also liking the under in this one. Dominic Merrill looking at the Boston Red Sox here. And TJ said, when this got to 9, I took the under. Model projection is 7.7. Let's hear from Jose Bouquett. Lamont Williams. We have Lamont Williams. We have TJ. We have DC. A lot of cappers here on the under. What are your thoughts, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, I lean under as well with all you guys, but I think the Rays are alive here again. I was very close to betting them yesterday, and I didn't bet them, but I do think the Rays can come out on top on this game. The Red Sox are just bad at home, and it's very frustrating, to say the least. 75% of the bets, 76% of the money on the Red Sox. I think that's crazy, but no action for me on this one, honestly. I've gone back and forth. But yeah, I lean Rays and I lean under here again.
Yeah, I lean towards the Rays. I could probably get there with what is your expectation here of Slick Nick after that rough start? Is he going to lock in?
That's a good question. I do expect him to pitch better. You know, it was the Braves he went against, so it's a really good lineup now compared to a shitty Rays lineup. So I do expect this to be a lower scoring ball game. Yeah.
Your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today. Tampa Bay in the under 8.5. Tampa Bay in the under 8.5 for Monsieur Money. Pistol Pete, take it away.
I think the betting on a Pivetta bounce back a bit is a decent thing to do. I was thinking about Pivetta actually over 5.5 strikeouts at nice plus money, and I was leaning Boston. But no, that's not a strong lean. That's just put it in my notes lean. Yeah, obviously, it's not a great spot. I mean, Savali's been getting hit, giving up home runs. He'll probably make some adjustments. Leaning Boston, and the pick I was going to give and going to bet is Pivetta over 5.5 strikeouts at plus money. I think I will give that one.
Okay, Pivetta
just
over
thinking about it right now. I'm looking at a ton of other stuff here, Jim.
Don't worry, you got time before you can confirm your action here. But I find the Rays appealing. I find Savali appealing. And I kind of want to wait till I see it with Nick. And then as soon as I see it, I want to start backing him. Gerald Jones saying Red Sox 11 unders and 1 over their last 12. Joe Yerkov says Red Sox offense in a slump. So we're going to
Pete, have you ever met anyone as stubborn as Mikey's grandma, wearing sister's grandma panties again and again and again?
Just nonstop.
She's up there. It seems like she's got a compulsion, or a fetish for it. Now it's crossing over into that territory.
Yeah, no, she takes things.
There's something deeper going on there, is what I'm trying to say.
She takes things really seriously. She doesn't mess around, and.
I wonder what would happen if you just typed in "grandma wearing your sister's panties" on an AI machine. What would that pop up?
Probably
the
arousal.
research.
Probably just immediate arousal. That's what I'm thinking. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. 7:20 p.m. Eastern. We have the Chicago Cubs, 24-18, 11-12 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 25-13, 14-4 at home. We are at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. By the way, Lamont saying, don't leave money on the table, my guys. He is bullish on that Rays Red Sox under. Bullish. TJ says the fetish is solely Mikey's sick fantasy. See, I don't think so.
That's also a possibility. I mean, it's in the realm of possibilities, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there is a chance of that.
So what you're saying is it's not the grandma who's the sick one. That is Mikey Money?
I'm just saying, I've met him personally. I don't think that that's the case, but I wouldn't put it out of the question. Wouldn't put it out of their own possibilities. Put it that way.
Jamison Tyon against Chris Sale here. We have the Cubbies smashing lefties. Smashing them. 288, 21 OPS. They're smashing them. And Sale has been so good. That was a spectacular start in his last one. One that you perfectly predicted. One that still bothers me, Jose. I can't fathom that we weren't on him after your breakdown. I mean, why were we on unders there? You put it out on a fucking silver platter. And
it was juicy. That's why, for me personally, I mean, run lines aren't my thing, but it was disgusting.
Yeah. Mikey Money, though, in his defense, says his grandma is a saint. She just likes that little string to help keep things pulled up.
That's on the table as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, he has like a clothesline. I believe that's not him thinking the plural of clit. I believe. It's hard to tell because of how he spelt it. You know what? I'm not
So-
sure. I'm not sure anymore. It could be
Well-
that her clit keeps the laundry off the ground.
That's also a possibility. Nasty Nate's grandma, by the way, keeps her panties on. Play of the day is the Red Sox in the under, by the way.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Jameson Tyne, Chris Sale. So Braves versus righties, 251, 725 OPS. They don't have a huge amount of power against righties. Yeah, TJ's pretty sure that it's the clip that's doing that. Cubs versus lefties, smash. Braves versus righties, not very much power. Cubs bullpen, 4.61 ERA, 1.42 whip, have converted 12 to 21 save opportunities, while the Braves bullpen's been very good all year. There's a issue league-wide that teams aren't able to shut the door. The save opportunities are getting blown left, right, and center. Let's talk about the line history here. Sale is at minus 190. Opened up at minus 187, so just 3 cents of movement towards Chris Sale on the total. We are sitting here with Sale and the Braves sitting at this total at 8. It's minus 113 to the under. So there's been no movement. There's basically been no movement on this entire ball game. So let's take a look at the cash flow. If that's the case, we have 92% of the tickets, 91% of cash on the over, with no movement. And on the money line, you have 93% of tickets and 98% of cash on the Braves. So how are we not on the under and the Cubs? Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I wanted to back the Cubs here, specifically because, like we said, a huge emotional start. Chris Sale, I didn't look at his numbers to see how hard he was throwing, like specifically in that start compared to his other starts, but he was humming the ball. I mean, how is there not like an emotional letdown here coming out here next start? I looked at specifically a Cubs team total 3.5 at plus 105. I was very interested in. The only reason I'm not betting that really is because of the total movement, like you mentioned, all the money on the over, and we haven't seen any movement down to the under, or we haven't seen any movement towards the over. We have all that money on the over, and it's very interesting. Now, Jimmy, you said yours opened up at an 8. Obviously, Bet Online, we take this for what we will, because Bet Online opens them earlier with limits, like you guys said. They opened this at a juiced over, and then eventually in the 7.5, and then eventually went up to an 8 here as well. But this 8 went from minus 110 all the way down to 15, and now juiced to the under again at minus 120 with all that money on the over. So under is definitely appealing in this game for me as well, Jimmy.
Yeah, I see why it is. I think this game goes. BJ with boots on the ground says it's not going to go, but I think it goes. RotoWire has 39% chance of rain, and the actual weather report has just scattered thunderstorms. So I think it good during the game. So I think it goes. And what was the 12.3? Oh no, sorry, it's 8 miles per hour in, between 8 and 6 miles per hour in. There's our guy Lucas Ryan in the house. Also, we have Trisha M rolling with us. Great to see you, Trisha. So with all that said and done, I like the Cubs and the under in this one. Cubs and under. It's not going to be fun betting it. Sale looks really good. Looks really, really good. Do you think that the Red Sox were part of the reason why he looked so good and their inability to hit lefties?
Yep, that definitely helped. Yeah, I mean, and we, by the way, I keep looking at the numbers and they keep telling me the Red Sox are decent at hitting lefties, but then with my own fucking eyeballs, I watch them get shut down by Patrick Corbin, and I fucking continue to refuse to believe that they're good against lefties. So keep making that note for everyone out there, guys. Lamont, I don't know what you're talking about the solo over. Can you rephrase that? I like
the team total over for the
Cubs. I
Cubs.
was. That's why I'm not taking it. It's because why I like the under and the total for the under there. So I'm staying off the game as a whole, but like I said, I like the Cubs here and at plus 175. Maybe first 5 I'd be interested in them as well. But the Braves bullpen, it's not like it's really good anyway. So yeah, Cubs in the under for me, but no action.
I think I move on both of those. And Trisha saying smashing her Panthers tonight. Get those Rats on standby. We were right with you on that call, Trish. Right.
By the way, Marshawn already ruled out. So
Yeah. We sadly.
Trisha, I can't believe you support a team of fucking dirty skunts. That's what I'm seeing.
Jeez.
Fucking Sam Bennett's a fucking dirty player. Fucking goalie interference. It's ridiculous.
Whoa, Jose. Whoa.
Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah, what a team.
Dirty.
No, yeah, you want that. You want to play on that edge in the playoffs, man. You want to instill fear in the opposition, keep their heads up, you know?
Disgusting. By the way, while we're on the topic of hockey, I've adopted the Vancouver Canucks as my team that I'm rooting for hard, very, very hard for, Jimmy. You know, it's a family thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, that Vancouver disappointment, it hurts. It hurt. It hurts. That game 2 loss, Jimmy. That's all I thought about. Because I even messaged our mutual friend Suze, and I was like, rooting fucking hard for you guys. Let's fucking go. And then 20 minutes later, boom, game over. And I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like. Jesus, fuck. But I'm going to bet on the Canucks tonight again.
And may God bless you on your travels here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the next spot on the board. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. New York Yankees 27-15, 14-9 on the road at the Minnesota Twins, 24-16, 11-8 at home. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Carlos Rodon and Chris Paddock on the hills in this one. Pete, did we hear your Cubs Braves thoughts?
I was definitely leaning Cubs, and maybe tie on over 1.5 walks. But what's up with the weather? It's very questionable, right?
No, I think it's fine. I went to the weather report. Can we switch back the heading? My bad. My apologies, Jose. Can we? No, I went over the weather. It's scattered thunderstorms. It's supposed to be nice this afternoon, and then scattered thunderstorms for the game.
Yeah, leaning tie on over 1.5 walks. It was like 110 when I saw it. It might be different now. And the Cubs at the plus money line for sure, slightly over as well.
In that case, would you want the Cubs in the first 5 or the full game?
Full game for sure. I think Tyon has been a little bit lucky so far based on the way I look at things. Sale, I agree, it's not a good spot for him, but I definitely don't want to fade him. So, but big dog line overall will be leaning Cubs and Tyon over 1.5 walks, and maybe I'll chuck it on. I'm almost certainly going to chuck on the first 5 over as well in the Boston game, but I'm just looking over, making sure I'm not going to use Pivetta, the strikeout prop, but my numbers do like it. That assumes full health for him, which is a big assumption.
All right. Let's roll on and let us know you've got time for your auditions. We move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Yankees, Twinkies. Carlos Rodon, 3-2, 3.56 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 43 Ks in 43 innings, 7 jacks. Coming off a nice start and a 9-4 win at home versus the Astros. Nice bounce back start for him. 6 1/3, 2 runs, 7 Ks, no walks. Chris Paddock, 4.34 ERA, 1.50 WHIP. He looked great in that last start. 6-3 win at home over the Mariners. He went 5 1/3, allowed 1 run. It was a solo shot, 10 strikeouts. But this is going to be a more difficult situation. Yankees are hitting 253, 774 versus righties. Now, the Twins are raking lefties, 279, 768 OPS, and both bullpens have been quite good, especially the Yankees bullpen. 2.69 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 17 of 23 converted save opportunities. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have this total sitting at 8.5. It is slightly juiced to the over. This opened up at 8 and moved to 8.5. On the money line, we are sitting here with a minus 108 for the Yankees. They opened up at minus 125. So we've had this huge move to the Minnesota Twins. When we get to the cash flow here in this one, we have 73% of tickets and 87% of the cash on the Yankees with this huge move to the Minnesota Twins. 93% of tickets and 96% of cash on the over, and the line moving in that direction. So here we go. Jose Bouquett, Rodon, Paddock, Yankees, Twinkies.
Yeah. So first of all, first time all year I didn't get caught in the sharp trap. It was yesterday, I believe. Well, I don't remember exactly when Manoah's start was. Maybe it was Saturday. But I faded Manoah. He pitched well. We still got the full game win, which was awesome. And that was the sharp trap was on the Blue Jays that day because all the line moving to the whatever the fuck. So that was nice. Today, Troy put 2 sharp traps in the chat. Phillies, or I should say the Mets was the trap in the first one. The Phillies are the side. And this one, the Twins are the trap here. And the Yankees are the side. And I'm kind of glad because I didn't want to back Rodon in this case here. And we've talked about how I'm one of Chris Paddock's lone defenders this year. And, I will say he has benefited from going against some offensively challenged teams. Seattle offense, not good. The Red Sox offense is okay, not really. Angels, not good. White Sox, not good. The last time he saw a really good offense was the Baltimore Orioles at the Orioles. Now, the issue obviously is the Minnesota Twins against lefties are raking the ball. And since the 21st of last month to today, they're third, 147 weighted runs created plus. I did the split down to just this month to see how good they were. And they're worse, but it was only 64 plate appearances, 102 weighted runs created plus. So I do like the Yankees here today. I am going to move on them, even though the line is moving in the opposite direction, whatever. I'm getting a minus 113 now for them for me. So New York Yankees full game.
Wow. What do you think of that, Pete?
I don't know, but what Troy Torrance said that the Mets game was a sharp trap taking the Mets?
Yes.
Oh, God. Great boot. All right. Well, that's that, I guess.
Wow.
I'll roll with it.
Jimmy, Pete's been hanging out with the Dominicans when he starts saying that. He's hanging out with some Hispanics. I see you, Pete. I see what you're picking up now.
If I was hanging out with Dominicans, which I am, I would be saying words that you're not allowed to say publicly, which I won't. But, oh, boy. And I'm about to say that word anyway, just because I'm fucking so pissed at fucking that falls into that sharp trap. And maybe the Tampa Bay Boston first half over is a trap like that as well. But, all right, Yankees, Minnesota, I don't know. Why is Minnesota a dog here? I was leaning Minnesota first half. Why is Paddock's strikeout number so low? He has volatility, so any game involving Paddock, I would be looking for dog lines one way or another. Yeah, my first thought and my number analysis, like Minnesota, liked Paddock's strikeout over, but can't explain what the lines are. And this is another sharp trap, according to Troy Torrance.
And TJ says he can't get off the Yanks either. This will be easy. Stay off. BJ, looking at the market the way we are, says, Twins money line, which I would be on right now. Wine Time says definitely leaning the Twins. Is a coin flip game. Says that he's shocked at how well the batting order is done lately. So I'm going to stay off this spot, man. This is tricky.
Okay. I'm on officially minus 113 for me.
All right. Well, Pete, you have time to still figure out how exactly you want to move on this, and you've had a great baseball season thus far. So keep doing exactly what you're doing. And
I got 3 games we've already covered that I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to move on it, if at all. But all right, let's move on. Let's move on.
If I have another bad, maybe we got to go blouse for blouse. Maybe I got to find.
Yeah, let's go fucking Troy Torrance, man. Gosh.
Let's roll on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern with the Pittsburgh Pirates 19-23, 10-11 on the road. Milwaukee Brewers 24-17, 10-9 at home. Yeah, it's been rough, my dude. Frank, our guy Frank, I love capping with him. Keep an eye out for this capper here in our chat of late. Frankie Ritaco. He says Yankees for a nickel. Says quote unquote Paddock shits his pants tonight. Look, it doesn't have to be a poetry. For us to be attentive to what this man's doing. He's winning is what he's doing on our show. So Frank on the Yankees.
I was about to say I'm trying not to double up as much recently, but I'd be interested in the Yankees team total here as well for a double up, but just Yankees money line for me.
Paddock shits his pants tonight. Too bad he won't be wearing a Padres uniform, so we wouldn't notice it. But we're gonna notice it.
No, you'll notice the shit in his pants. You'll notice it.
Are you sure? Okay. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Pirates 9-23, 10-11 the road at the Brewers 24-17, and that record's all buoyed by their road record, not their home record. Just 10-9 in the friendly confines of American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Roof will be closed. We have Quinn Priester going up against Joe Ross. Quinn Priester, 0-3, 3.86 ERA, 1.43 whip, 12 Ks in 21 innings, 12 Ks, 8 walks, 6 home runs. Last start, 4 2/3, 5 runs, just 3 of which were earned. But it was a 9-0 loss at home versus the Angels. Joe Ross, on the other side of things, 4.75 ERA, 1.47 whip. He's coming off an okay start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks, 6-4 loss with the Royals. Pirates are not hitting righties. 219, 624 OPS. Good opportunity for Joe Ross to get right. And the Brewers smash righties. This is not going to be easy for Quinn Priester. 264, 771 OPS. Pirates bullpen's been unlucky. Will have better numbers as the season goes on. 4.48 ERA, 1.36 whip, converted 12 of 22 save opportunities. Brewers bullpen 3.91 ERA, 1.32 whip, converted 12 of 19. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. We have the Brewers at minus 152. They opened up at minus 153. So we had no movement at all towards these Milwaukee Brewers. And on the total side of things here, we are dealing with an 8.5 minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 5:30 p.m. yesterday. At 8:16 p.m. it moved to 8.5. Initially it was plus 104 to the under. Now we're sitting with minus 114 to the under. So a real legit move towards the under. 19 more likes and Jose Bouquett gets a haircut. 19 more likes and Jose Bouquett gets a haircut here.
Damn, y'all work fast.
Yeah, no, they really want you to look a little better. From the cash flow here in this one, we have 96% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the over. Wow. 96 and 97. Then we have 80% of tickets, 72% cash on the Brewers. Jesus. Is this a Pirates and under spot? Wow. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I'm semi-interested in the under, I will admit. I mean, look at the total to start. Juiced over 825, 8.5, minus 125. Now juiced to the under. Minus 115. So that's very interesting there, obviously. And you know, the Pirates sidewise, I don't know if I can get there as much. I'm seeing it opening up at minus 143 and going up to minus 155. Bovada actually opened this at minus 158 and it's not minus 160, so not much movement. But I tend to think the dog and the under go together, you know. So I probably lean under in this game as well, but no action for me here. Shout out to Barry Smith in the chat. Where are we at now? Where are we at now? Fucking likes wise, guys. Hit the like button, please and thanks.
Well, let's see what Pistol Pete Loshak has to say about this spot, because I'm certainly interested now in the Pirates and the under. Peter, take it away. Your thoughts at the battle here at American Family Field.
Yeah, I was thinking Pirates and over, though. You know, Priester's a bit of a wild card. Hasn't been good, but he gets a ton of grounders. So those kinds of guys have high volatility. So I'd be wanting a dog line with anything that involved him. Joe Ross, not sure that I'm fully buying him right now at the moment. The start against the Cubs was nice, but not sure I'm buying him at the moment. So yeah, I at the line was definitely leaning Pittsburgh in the over, thinking about Ross under 5.5 strikeouts, although that's a huge favorite line. And Pittsburgh team total or first 5 team total over are both things I was thinking of as well.
Okay. So Pirates seem like a legit dog here with a risk reward. TJ says, I won't bet the Pirates till they can come up close to league average at the plate. They are terrible. We got WT in the house, says Hako Beach, says hello to Pete. And
hell yeah.
God,
man, let's all just fucking move there, baby.
Oh, I miss it. Life was just a little more.
It was something else. It was something else.
I would love to meet Costa Rica Pete.
You never been there?
No, Costa Rica Pete.
Jose
I've
Bouquett.
never been to Costa Rica either, but
it's a whacked out place, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Well,
man.
after my experience in Venezuela, I decided that I shouldn't leave the United States. And, I'm making an exception for Canada. But yeah, after my experience in Venezuela, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm good on Spanish-speaking countries.
All right. I'm definitely going to take Pittsburgh team totals over either first 5 or full game, one way or another. I would love to add on Ross under 5.5 strikeouts, but if it loses, I don't want to really eat a unit plus 1.6 units of loss. But yeah, not totally sold on Ross and Pittsburgh in this spot. I'm sold on them enough to bet on them a few different ways.
I'm interested in the Pirates. I'm interested in the under. I think that Ross can have a decent start at home here. And it's all about, I think the market's telling us the Priester is going to have a good start. Now, I know that our friend Gagnon does not want to hear that. And I don't know if Gagnon has not been back since.
I was thinking that as well. I was like, where is our guy Gagnon? I like to think that Gagnon is just watching and not commenting. That's what I'd like to think.
Just cleaning his gun.
Yeah, he's just doing whatever. By the way, Pete, after this next breakdown, I have to take my dog to go take a shit. She's about to shit her pants right on my feet right now.
Sure.
So, but this next game means a lot to me, so I have to talk about it. Why?
Your dog's going to pull a Chris Paddock, I guess, then.
Yeah. That's what we do call it around here, pulling a paddock, We also call it a Kimbrel as well.
Let's roll here. Wine Time says our server at the restaurant literally called his buddy to take us to a black sand beach and came back and picked us up. It was sketch at first, but you realize the people are so nice. Yeah, that is sketchy. That is sketchy. You're lucky to be alive. 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Guardians 26-16, 14-10 on the road. Texas Rangers 22-21, 10-10 at home. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. We have Ben Lively against Jose's close friend Jack Leiter.
My guy.
Let's take a look at the weather here for this one. We have 81 Fahrenheit at first pitch. So if it's over 80, that means that the roof will be closed. It's 1 degree over 80. I don't know if the roof's going to be. This is
Yeah, let me tell you. I assume that bitch is closed 90% of the time because they had it open for like one time all year last year, and they've started to open up a little more this year. But I assume it's closed like a majority of the time.
All right, Lively versus Leiter. So we think that the roof will be closed. Let's take a look at the line history here. Our total sitting at 9, juice to the over. Not only that, but this got up to 9.5 twice, and it's now back at 9. It's minus 117 to the over, which is right where it opened. So
That's concerning.
We are sitting with, at Pinnacle, no market move whatsoever since it opened at 5:38 p.m. yesterday. Let's get into the money line here. From a money line standpoint, we have a minus 113 for the Rangers in Jack Leiter. They opened up at minus 103, 10 cents of movement towards Jack Leiter and the Texas Rangers. When we get to the cash flow here, 57% of tickets, 58% cash on the over. And on the money line, we have 41% of tickets and 68% of the cash on the Cleveland Guardians. Jose Bouquett, take it away. Ben Lively coming up that 3-2 loss at the White Sox, 5 2/3, 3 earned runs. He's been very good this year. Jack Leiter got touched up again. Now, the defense didn't help him in the last one. 4 earned runs, 6 runs total, 4 earned runs over 4 innings. Now he's got a 12.91 ERA, which was exactly what Jose predicted would happen to young Jack Leiter. But the Guardians only had 228, 676 first righties, whereas the Rangers had 255, 730. But the Guardians bullpen the best in baseball, and surprisingly, the Rangers are the worst. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm betting the over. Obviously, it's already locked in. I got 9 minus 120, which kind of sucks. I mean, it is concerning that thing is going down a bit. But I think the markets have just been wrong about him to begin with. The line and everything has moved towards him, I believe, in his first few starts. I just need to find the balls to bet the Guardians here full game as well. I told myself I'm not going to double up though, so I'm not going to double up. But I'm on the full game over 9. I'm not going to not going to stop betting the overs in his games. 4-0 so far. Betting for overs, first having full game, obviously. It's been great, but I do think the Guardians win this game. The Rangers are not good this year. Jack Leiter is not a good pitcher yet. And here's the thing. It's his third start now. at some point he's got to pitch decently. But I'll keep betting against him. I just took, like I said, full game over, not to complicate it too much. The Guardians are coming off getting swept off the White Sox, I believe someone said. That was disgusting to see. So I'm sure the White Sox or the Guardians, will have plenty of motivation to go out there and get the win. And Ben Lively's been pretty good this year. So Guardians for me, but I bet the full game over 9. And while I'm walking Molly the dog, I'm going to consider betting the Guardians and tell myself I should or shouldn't. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we will be all ears. And yes, Robert Martin, Cleveland Guardians sports is supposed to bring us together, and it does. So if there is ever, a team name that doesn't do that, let's get rid of that team name. And, our guy Bob Taylor said it was his bad, and he apologized. A lot of people have called it that name for 80 years, and it's just sort of in the lexicon of their language, and it's changing here. And so you have every right, Robert Martin, and we respect, and you don't say forgive me. We respect and love you, Robert Martin, and love capping with you. So let's talk more about these Guardians. Take it away here, Peter Loshak. Is this a fade lighter again situation?
I would probably say no, but I'm definitely not going to bet this one way or the other as far as expectations for him. Lively's been decent, though, and I kind of like his strikeout prop over. Even when he gets hit and gives up runs, he tends to get strikeouts anyway. So I might give the over 3.5 strikeouts, even at like minus 166 or so. Lighter, who the hell knows? The pitching coach probably knows better than anyone. Even the pitching coach probably doesn't have a great read on it right now. So, mechanics, nerves, umpires, big league hitters. Is the umpire going to be like, hey, Rook, I'm going to fuck you? Or is the umpire going to be like, you've had a tough time. I'll give you a couple of breaks here and there. Who knows? Pass for me. But my lean would be Lively over 3.5 strikeouts.
Ribeye play today. Jose Ramirez, Ribby at plus 145. Leiter's 2 starts have both been road starts.
Yeah. So now he's home. You never know what this fucking ump's going to do. Could go either way, Yeah,
But, when you hear TJ this confident on the Guardians, he is Cleveland by margin here. Cleveland minus 1.5. Nuff Plush Allen's moving on the Mets team total over 3.5.
There you go. If I got to be trapped with a sharp, there's no sharp I would rather be trapped with than Nut Flush Allen, baby.
Okay, I guess I'm going to stay off of this. I can this has got to. Leiter couldn't get the A's out, but again, that's in Oakland. All right. Okay, let's.
And I will take Lively over 3.5 strikeouts minus 166 current line at Caesars.
Lively over 3.5 Ks. What was the juice?
Minus 166 at Caesars, unless I can find somewhere better. Pinnacle has 178. I'll shop around.
There's our guy Sharpie in the house now, 40 years old. Our guy, and I hope everyone gave him some love for his 40th birthday. And the Odds Bunch Sharpie's channel. His show pops off 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to our guy Sharpie in the house. I guess I'm going to stay off here, but Loshak on Lively over 3.5 strikeouts, and says waiting for lineups, but leaning lighter under 4.5 Ks for our guy Sharpie. Let's roll on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern with the Oakland Athletics 19-24, 9-11 on the road at the Houston Astros 16-25, 8-12 at home. Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. They made the date, and this was something that Earl Sports made the date for May 10th in Astros. Now 16-25. I wonder if, he's right about that being the right time to move on the futures, move within the division. Right now, the Astros are 6.5 games out of the division. Mariners are just 23-19. No one's playing very well. And, the Astros have won 2 straight. I wonder if this is the time. Aubrey Travis saying this is the time. He says he thinks the Astros are back. Against lefties, they smash them 278, 788 OPS, and JP Sears is a good pitcher. He's coming off getting touched up at home by the Rangers, 5 2/3, 4 runs. He's had a good season, 4.20 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. Has allowed 7 jacks in 45 innings. Going up against Ronel Blanco, who looked great in that 4-3 win at the Yankees, 5 2/3, 2 runs. We cashed on the Astros in that one. 2.23 ERA, 1.02 whip. Now, I know his stats have been buoyed by the no-hitter, 41 Ks, 20 walks, probably not the kind of K-walk ratio he wants. And TJ says he'll turn 40 tomorrow. Nice, TJ. Nice, man. We will wish you a great, big, happy birthday. TJ and Sharpie both turning 40. So here we go. A's versus righties, 222, 684 OPS. Both bullpens. Well, the Astros bullpen's been a little better. Still 4.45 ERA, 1.4 whip, converted 5-13. A's bullpen, 3.60 ERA, 1.24 whip, converted 10-15. This A's bullpen's been really good all year. Right now, the Astros and Ronald Blanco opened up at minus 194. Now they're minus 164. A 30-cent move away from the Houston Astros. Just a monstrous move away from them. 30 cents. From a total side of things here, get this up. We'll see what we are dealing with. God, that's a huge move to the Athletics. The Athletics, the Sharps, baby. They just seem to love the A's. From a total side of things, we're dealing with 8.5 minus 109 to the under. Opened up minus 114 to the under. So 5 cents of movement towards the over. And when we get to the cash flow for A's Rangers, we have. The Guardians race A's Astros. We have 93% of the tickets, 98% of the cash on the Astros, and a 30-cent move to the A's. Wow. 94% of the tickets and 93% cash on the over and no movement. Take it away, Jose Bouquett, Athletics Astros.
Yeah. So during that short walk of Molly the dog, I threw on Euphoria for 3 minutes. And it did give me the testicular fortitude not to move on the Guardians, but to move on the Oakland A's here. I've had my guard up with Ronald Blanco all year. JP Sears, probably the best pitcher on the A's. Him and Paul Blackburn battle it out. I'll take him. Full game money line. That giant move towards the A's. And like you said, Jimmy, only 93%, or sorry, I say only, but 93% of the bets and 98% of the bets on the Astros here, and we're still moving that way towards the A's. I'll roll my dice here, and I'll take the A's here. So I'm on them. And like I've said, I think the A's are, I don't know. I think they're going to be good enough to be in the hunt, like the wild card hunt graphic the whole year. Like they're not going to be horrifically bad. And I'm excited to see what they do here, so A's win this game. A's full game money line. I got plus, let me tell you, 155.
Plus 155. Peter Loshak, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I did like Oakland, at the opening line, and I was leaning Blanco under strikeouts, and then I bet it because I got an off market line, but now it's moved, so I'm not sure if I love it now. Sears has high volatility. Blanco very consistent, so this might not be a bad spot to just bet like the both teams' first 5 minus a half, and hope you don't get a tie after first 5 innings. I like Oakland here. Betting Oakland for 5 minus a half might not be a bad way to go either.
That feels like betting on black and red on roulette and then hitting green if it tied.
Yeah, it feels that way if you're mathematically illiterate, sure. But no, I'm kidding. No, you're right. It's definitely a mathematically stupid thing to do. It's best to handicap it and then bet the side that has the edge, which I think is Oakland. So Oakland first 5 minus a half at a big dog line might be worth a shot here.
So Jose, you think that Blanco is vulnerable?
I do,
even though the A's have never seen him before.
I do.
Sharpie saying that the Astros have been mediocre versus lefties since sending Abreu down 2 weeks ago.
Happy belated to Sharpie as well.
Hell yeah.
And TJ saying going to rewatch the rest later. Have a great day. We love you, TJ, and get that midnight birthday drink ready to go, man. 40
Is
years
TJ
old.
sweating? Is TJ sweating for the Rangers yet? Are those meat sweats coming in, TJ? Talk about it tomorrow, I guess.
Huh. So, Jose, if you had a free bet on the over-under, you think Blanco's going to get touched, would you be leaning towards
I'd bet over? Yeah, I'd lean over.
With 94% of the tickets and 93% of the cash?
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. No, I mean, market, just without the market, I'm betting over. But like I said, I'm on the A's. When we bet dogs like this, it's typically dogs and under.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested in the under. I think Blanco had a great start in New York. I don't know why we still believe it's all fraudulent at this point. But maybe this is the spot where he gets touched. Nate Dogg 420 in the house. What up, Nate Dogg, my guy? Okay. So Pete, A's, Astros. Anything you want to lock in?
I guess I'll hold off for now. Would love to take the A's in some way though.
Let's roll on. 9:38 p.m. Eastern with the St. Louis Cardinals 17-24, 11-13 on the road at the Los Angeles Angels 15-27, 5-15 at home. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Take a look at the weather in Anaheim. It is 65 Fahrenheit, 8.7 miles per hour right to straightaway center. That's down to 7.6 miles per hour. We have Reed Detmers versus Sonny Gray. Detmers does not look good. Troy Torrance says finding some good shit on this game and it agrees with the over. Joe Yurkovich saying Blanco slightly above average. Okay, I'll put some question marks in. Well, I already have the question marks around the under, so I can just leave them there. Okay, let's get into the line history here for this one. We have this total now at 7 at Pinnacle. So we've dropped a full run. It's opened up at 8, and we are now at 7. Does that tell you that Reed Detmers is a good pitcher, or that the Cardinals are just so horrific against lefties that Reed Detmer will get right in this spot? Detmer and the Angels are at plus 126. They open up at plus 123, so a 3-cent move. Bob Taylor saying Sonny got roughed up last start. He sure did. 7-1 loss at the Brewers. Of course, I was on the under 7.5. Tobias. That was Tobias. And my whole thought was, if Tobias has a good start, which what the market was telling us, then how does this under not hit? Well, of course, Sonny Gray would let 6 earned runs and 3 jacks. So does Sonny Gray bounce back here? Reed Detmer coming off allowing 6 earned runs and 10-4 loss home versus the Royals. As I said, Cards can't hit lefties, 188, 558 OPS, and the Angels can't hit righties, 233, 675 OPS. And Cards bullpen 3.91 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, converted 13 of 17, while the Angels bullpen 5.23 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, converted 8 of 14. And then when we get to the cash flow, you have 98% of the tickets and 96% of the cash on the over, and now we're at a 7 at Pinnacle. How we have a lot of these, man. 18% of the tickets and 68% cash on the Angels. Jose Bouquett, are the Angels live here?
I'm not sure, but I did take the under. I took it at 7.5. I got it for 115. I'm one of Reed Detmer's last believers, I guess, and it might be because he dominates the Boston Red Sox. I don't know, but he's gotten shit on in his last few starts, sure. But you mentioned it, all the money on the over, and this dropped down. Still, I thought this was the most under game of the day. Sonny Gray coming off of a shit game against a shit offense. Reed Detmers, I believe in him still as a good lefty. So I took the under here, and I was even more buoyed and more confident in my bet here when I saw that 98% of the bets and 96% of the money were on the over. So under for me.
And you got what?
I got 7.5. Bet this before the show, minus 115.
That's a good number. Peter, take it away. Cardinals, Angels.
Okay, first of all, I will add on Blanco under 6.5 strikeouts, minus 141 at Heritage. It's worse numbers in other places. I'll take the Heritage number. Blanco under 6.5 Ks, minus 141 Heritage, and I'm also leaning Oakland in other ways. I might double up. All right, this one, St. Louis and LA. Yeah, I mean, the big question is, will Detmers bounce back? My sense is, it's not something I want to bet on. He's been giving up home runs. Sonny Gray overall been good. Got hit last out. Probably going to bounce back here. LA's a home dog, though. I was looking at props. Maybe Detmer's over 4.5 hits, even though that's a big favorite line. Gray under 5.5 hits, even though that's a big favorite line. But yeah, in general, it's definitely St. Louis or nothing here, or at least Gray over Detmers or nothing.
Yeah, that's Sharpie on the under 7 or first 7 under 5.5. He's staying away from the Angels bullpen. That's not been good. Angels bullpen's been pretty unlucky. They should be better. Troy going to bet the under as well. I'll join you on the under, but I got to get there fast.
So everyone we respect thinking that Detmers at least won't get crushed.
Yeah, that the Cards, even though they've been a little better of late, still are atrocious against lefties.
Admittedly, I feel better about betting on a bullpen that just gave up like 8 runs in 1 inning or whatever it was against the Cardinals last night as well.
Yeah,
They probably took ownership of that game. Was like, yo, that's on us. Jose Soriano fucking shoved. You guys gave us like a 5-run lead, and we fucked it here. I think they'll be locked in.
there's our guy Gifted Cartel in the house. He is on the Cards money line. Troy Torrance going to take the under 7 at plus money. All right, let's roll on. Next up for us, 9:40 p.m. Eastern, Cincinnati Reds 17-24, 8-11 on the road at Arizona Diamondbacks 28-22, 10-10 at home. We're at Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. Roof's going to be closed for all of these games this week, or at least today, Wednesday, and Thursday. We know the roof will be closed. Hunter Green going up against Slade Cecconi. Slade is bet on. I know the Jacks, he's allowed 4 home runs in 21 2/3. I think he's the real deal. Hunter Green coming off allowing 3 earned runs over 5 innings, 5-4 loss at home versus Arizona. They just met. These pitchers just went up against each other, and that's the only reason why I'm not already on it. Lamont Williams also on that first 5 under 3.5 here. So, the Reds aren't hitting righties, 216, 656 OPS, and the Diamondbacks aren't hitting righties either, 219, 657. These are two teams that are horrific offensively here. Reds bullpen and Diamondbacks bullpen both have been very disappointed. So these have been two disappointing baseball teams. Diamondbacks 2 games under 500, and the Reds sitting 7 games under 500, 41 games into the season. Ugly. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have Cecconi and the Diamondbacks at -118. They opened up at -113. 5 cents of movement towards Slade and the Diamondbacks. And then from a total perspective, we are sitting with a 8.5 -115 to the over. So there's been no movement, 1 cent of movement, almost no movement. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 25% of tickets and 90% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. 25 and 90, which is very, very interesting. On the total, you have 97% of tickets and 95% cash on the over. 97 and 95 on the over. And it's not moved. Take it away for us here, Jose. Reds, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, no action for me here. The market kind of threw me off. Slade's been pitching really well too. And I was kind of surprised by it. He was highly thought of, but he was more of a bullpen arm. And now that they've needed a starter here, he stepped up and he's been really good. So I ended up just staying off. And this is a back-to-back for him as well. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, a home run, three walks, 2 strikeouts last time out. 4 Slade against the Cincinnati Reds. So I don't want to back him on a back-to-back. I typically, again, think that the inverse is going to happen. And Hunter Green, by the way, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs on a home run, 6 Ks, 5 walks there as well. His last 2 starts, he has 9 walks as well combined. So no thanks here.
Pistol P. Loshak, Cecconi Green, Diamondbacks, Reds at Chase Field.
Yeah, I was leaning Green. I was definitely leaning Green hits under because, as Jose said, if he blows up, it's probably going to be with walks, and he might get sent out of there without even giving up 5 hits. But leaning Cincinnati first 5, leaning Green to have a decent start, maybe under 2.5 earned runs, maybe under 4.5 hits at plus money as well. And also Jimmy the Bag. I am going to chuck on Oakland first 5 innings minus a half run. I'll check around, but I'll shop around to get the best line. But I will add on Oakland first 5 minus a half run, and probably put on at least one bet here on one pick here officially on Green to have a decent start here against Arizona, either Cincinnati first 5 or under 4.5 hits.
Yeah, I get it. I hear you. I'm going to stay off of it, but that all makes sense to me. Let's roll on. Next up is a fascinating game for me. I've already moved on one bet, but there's 2 others I have been staring at now for 15 hours. I have moved on the first 5 under 4 in the Rockies Padres game at Petco. I got -107. I really thought I was going to smash this line move. That is not the case at Pinnacle. It is the case with other books, but not the case with Pinnacle. There's been 14 cents of line movement to the first 500. It's gone from plus 104 to minus 110. You'd have to go to other books to smash it, but not really. I take that back. I guess my bookie's minus 116, Will Hill's minus 115, and Bet Online. There you go. The Bet Online will make me feel better, but Bet Online's moved this to minus 125 from minus 110. 15-cent move there. So I have moved on the first 5 under. My problem is that I cheer for Port Dope's Cal Quantrill. I cheered for his dad, Paul, or his uncle. Sorry, that's his uncle, Paul. And Cal's last 2 starts are the best 2 starts of his career. Arguably, obviously. But he's looked so good. Can he make it 3 in a row? I would like to take the Rockies' first 3 plus a half. And I would like to take the Rockies' first 5 plus a half. But the line was moving so heavily against it that I was like, well, there's no need to obviously do anything at this point. Let's see if the market's still moving so quickly towards Cease. Oh, it is. It's just flying. This is now minus 300 situation. Cease is now minus 293. Wow. He opened up at minus 259. So there's been a 50-cent move towards the Padres. Man, how do you get in the way of that? So, yes, last night, the Rockies' first 3 plus a half was minus 120. And I'd be curious to see what it changed. The first 5 plus a half was plus 131 at Pinnacle and plus 125 at Bet365. Now the first 3 is the huge move towards the first 3 plus a half's minus 110, and the first 5 plus a half is plus 135 at Bet365. I'll see what it is at Pinnacle. Cease coming off a spectacular start. 3-0 win at the Cubs, 7 innings, 12 Ks, 2 walks. The Rockies, 243, 681 OPS versus righties. Padres smashing righties, 270, 754. And Rockies bullpen, 4.40 ERA, 1.52 whip, converted 7 of 10 save opportunities. They've looked much, much better. And then the Padres bullpen has been good, 3.91 ERA, 1.23 whip, converted 7 of 10 as well. So here we go. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. You have 81% of tickets, 72% of cash on the over. This total's been dropping. It's now a 7. And on the money line, you have 93% of tickets and 66% of cash on the Padres. But it's a 50-cent move towards them. Good God. Take it away, Jose. Rockies, Padres.
Game 7. I got the plus money, and let me double.
Sorry,
check.
you were cutting out at the very beginning. Say that again.
Yeah, full game under for me 7. Even money. I just went to go check in how many likes we have, and we do have 118 likes. So shout out to you guys. I will be getting a haircut today now. That changed my day's plans a lot. But yeah, no, I will be taking an under in this game, full game. I'm admittedly interested in the Rockies with all that line moving still. Such a low total. Are we just no runs for the Rockies? Is that what we're expecting here? 0.
Can I get 9 outs? Can I get 9 outs from Cal Quantrill? So if I get 9 outs, I'll cash the first 3 under.
If Cal can cash another bet for us here, Jimmy, I might have to just go ahead and apply for my visa and residency for Port Dope. I might just have to. Fuck. But yeah, I'm on it. Let's ride.
You're also moving on the Rockies then?
I'm on the unders. Just on the under.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I can't double up. I'm not allowed.
Take it away, Pistol Pete, Loshak, Rockies, Padres.
Yeah, you're saying the line has moved in San Diego's direction, huh?
50 cents.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I obviously Dylan Cease, legit awesome. But he's off a big start, huge line here. Quantrill last 2 starts great. Before that, more vulnerable, but the line is just so massive. And I was, money line, I'd be leaning Colorado. The strikeout prop leaning Cease under at 8.5, and maybe even Cease to give up a couple runs. I mean, Colorado, they have some life to them right now, right? They're not relying on home runs and shit. They're using on they're relying on aggressive base running, stuff like that, stealing bases and this and that. So, I don't love fading Cease, but as the line gets bigger and bigger and bigger, at some point, you got to pull the trigger with a 0.2 of a unit or something like that.
That is just crazy. Joseph Gomez says Rockies not an auto fade, under 5 worth the juice. I guess that 50-cent move will keep me off of trying to get 9 outs. I mean, I'm already on the first 5 under 4, so I'll just stick with that. Jose's on the full game under 7, but wow, I can't get 9 outs from Cal Quantrill pitching better than I've ever seen him pitch. All right, let's move on.
Wait, first of all, Jim, let me add on. I'll take Cincinnati, but just the first half money line plus 101. I'm not going to fuck around with green, props and stuff like that. I'll just take Cincinnati first 5 money line plus 101.
You got that locked in. We have 2 more ball games here before we get into the 2 spots in NBA. Let's roll 9:40 p.m. Eastern with the Kansas City Royals, 25-18, 10-10 on the road at Seattle Mariners, 23-19, 14-9 at home. We're at T-Mobile in Seattle, Washington. They've been opening the roof, and so they'll open it here, 61 Fahrenheit. These were temperatures I thought that they weren't opening up the roof, but they are. 9 miles per hour right to left, so it's between 9 and 8.1. And then let's get into the line history here for this one. We're sitting here with Seattle minus 155. They opened up minus 146. We have 9 cents of movement. 9 cents of movement towards the Seattle Mariners. And from a total side of things here, we have we're sitting here at a 7 minus 102 to the under. So this opened up at 7 plus 108 to the under. So 10 cents of movement at this very low total of 7. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. 92% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Seattle Mariners. Ton of cash on, and 91% of tickets, 91% cash on the over. Wow. Troy Torrance says, bet the Mariners at home at night. Market moving towards them. Easy. Don't even think. Don't even think, he says. Michael Wacha coming off a better start. 10-4 win at the Angels, 6-3. It's 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. He's got very inflated numbers, 5.15 ERA, 1.44 whip. I don't know what to expect from him. Logan Gilbert having a great year, coming off getting destroyed in front of us, 11-1 at the Twins. This is probably a perfect bounce-back scenario for him. The Royals versus righties, just 238, 699 OPS. Same with the Mariners, 224, 667. Neither team hits righties, and both bullpens are so good. Is this the under, and do we trust the Mariners here? Jose Bouquett, take it away.
Yeah, I'm looking at Troy's Mariners easy. Troy, you just gonna bet the money line? Are you gonna take minus 1.5 plus 140? That's what I have it at. But it's one of those things where it's like you bet the run line, but in these traditional gambling senses, you're not supposed to take home run lines, and you're not supposed to take run lines with such low totals as well. He took the minus 105 in the money line in a parlay, so I get that. I just struggle to bet it and not lay super juice. So I'll consider throwing in a money line parlay here, Troy. But it's Mariners or nothing, so no action here for me really.
What's keeping you off the under?
I don't know. I just don't. There's no particular reason really.
All
no
right.
particular reason.
Yeah, Troy Torrance says throw that trash away with home run lines. Toss it. I mean, trying to get. I don't think there should be extreme black and white things that you've put on, but look, you're winning, and that's all that's important. Peter Loshak, take it away. Royals, Mariners.
Okay, first of all, you can also add on Dylan Cease under 8.5 strikeouts minus 103 Caesars. Cease under 8.5 strikeouts minus 103 Caesars. All right, let's see. Where are we right now? KC and Seattle. Yeah. I didn't actually look at this one too deeply. Gilbert obviously coming off of the shelling, likely to bounce back here, I think. So, my sense is betting Gilbert is probably a decent shot, but don't want to pull the trigger on something so obvious, and didn't do the second round of analysis to see if I really want to do it. So, obviously the first thought is strong start from Gilbert, but haven't bet it yet and haven't had time to look into it deep enough.
I'm gonna
go ahead.
I'm gonna get cute, and I'll take Troy. I'm trusting my guy Troy. I bet 3 run lines this year, all at the behest at Troy. And here's another one. I will take Seattle minus 1.5 plus 140.
Wow. So going ahead and skipping the minus 1.
Yeah, no. If I'm gonna take it, I want the money line, or not the big money line, the big score.
Even with a total of 7.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm interested in the minus 1 here. And I'm interested in the under. I'm interested in moving on both. Let's talk about the final spot on the board today. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Dodgers 28-15, 13-7 on the road. San Francisco Giants 19-24, 11-9 at home. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Let's get into the weather here in Frisco. We have 55 Fahrenheit, 9.4 miles per hour to straightaway center. It gets down to 7.5 by the end of the game. We get into the line history here for this one. Sitting here with a total of 8.5 minus 109 to the under. This opened up at 8, so we moved up a half run. On the money line, we are sitting here with a plus 169 on the Giants. They opened up at plus 146. The Dodgers have gone from minus 159 to minus 186. So a 27-cent move to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Take a look at the cash flow, see if it's correlating with this. And 90% of the tickets, 91% of the cash on the over. Seen it go up a half run. Then on the money line, we have 91% of tickets and 93% cash on the Dodgers, and it's moved 27 cents in their direction. Gavin Stone against Keaton Wynn. What was the weather? Sorry, the weather in Frisco. Sorry, 55 Fahrenheit, 9.4. Yeah, we did that. 55, 9.4 out the center, but it's swirls. Not a big deal. Gavin Stone, 3-1, 3.55 ERA, 1.26 whip. Last start, 7 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 4 Ks, no walks, 3-1 win at home versus Marlins. He looked good. And Keaton Wynn coming off, allowing 7 earned runs in the thin air of Colorado. Dodgers are smashing righties, 254, 784 OPS. Giants versus righties, 235, 671. Dodgers bullpen 3.08 ERA, 1.03 whip, converted 14 of 19 save opportunities. And we get the hint from our Nut Flush Allen, who says, what is our... I can give us a possible lineup on Polo, but that isn't that helpful. We won't get the lineup till much later. And Nut Flush Allen giving us a hint here. What is the San Francisco Giants team total under? And the Giants team total under for this one is 3.5 minus 129 to the under. Jose Bouquett, take it away.
Yep, no action. Keeping it pretty, light, I guess, in this card. I already have 9 bets, actually. Well, 8, I guess, baseball. But yeah, no action for me in this game. I kind of get sketched out when the Dodgers play their home, or they're not their home, they're in-division rivals, really. So no action.
What about you, Pistol Pete?
Yeah, I mean, my numbers say bounce back, good spot for Keaton Wynn. Nut Flush Allen, I know you're in the comment section. I know you follow Keaton Wynn. Do we not think that he's going to have a better start here? I'd be leaning under in San Francisco. Wanted to hear what you guys had to say about it, though.
DC Capper on the over. He's also on the Dodgers. And he's not afraid to pay the minus 164. I don't know exactly what to do with this spot. I mean, obviously, Nut Flush talking about the Giants team total under is interesting. 90% of tickets, 91% cash on the over, and we've watched this climb a half run. I guess I would probably prefer a first 5, but I don't know why. Robert Martin says the Dodgers are cooking. So anything official from you gentlemen in this one?
Nothing.
I guess not.
Well,
for now.
We're going to review all MLB action.
Yeah,
So I'll go mine, then Jose will go yours. So you'll have about another minute.
Thanks.
Exactly what you want to add.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Sorry. By the way, huge shout out to Bob Taylor for giving me about how the A's strike out a lot. Yeah, I know that, Bob Taylor. We'll see how it turns out. Hopefully Blanco gets touched a little bit. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Gerald Jones' best bets: Cubs, Braves, first 5 under 4.5. Smooth balls play of the day is a 2-team parlay. Paddock over 4.5 strikeouts. Reds team total over 3.5. Chosen one is taking the Phillies first 5 minus half and full game in game 1. Double dip. Oh no, just Phillies first 5. That's not part of the double dip. A subhuman. Oh, that's Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day for the dog is the Cubs. Justin McKelvey on the Mets over 3.5. Team total over 3.5. So. And Loshak got his card started with the Mets plus 123 and Jose Bouquett over 4.5 Ks. That game is off and racing. For us here, I'm going to be on the first 5 under 4 in Washington National, Chicago White Sox. I'm interested in joining Jose on the under 8 in Toronto, Baltimore, but I do have question marks beside it. I'm going to need a little bit more time. I moved on the first 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5 in Miami, Detroit. It's an important game to me. Then we had the max bet from Lamont Williams, Tampa Bay Red Sox, full game under 8.5. Your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today's Tampa Bay in the under 8.5. I'm going to be on Tampa Bay and Savali. I'm going to be on the Cubs and the under in Chicago Braves. Jose's on the Yankees with Frank Ritaco. I'm going to be on the Pirates and the under in Pirates Milwaukee. And I'm going to be on the under 7.5 in St. Louis Cardinals, Los Angeles Angels. I'm on the first 5 under 4, -107 Colorado, San Diego. Royals, Mariners under and -1 for the Mariners. And that is my card. Jose, break down your card.
Yes, my card is Cleveland Guardians, Texas Rangers over 9 -120. The worst I've felt about a Jack Leiter over so far. So we might have a good start here today. We'll see. See what that fraud does. Blue Jays, Orioles under 8 -115. Cardinals, Angels under 7.5 -115. Rockies, Padres under 7 even money. Nationals game 2 full game money line -109. Yankees full game money line -113. Oakland A's full game money line +155. Seattle Mariners -1.5 +140. And for those sitting in the back, Vancouver Canucks money line +170. I'm ready for that sweet, sweet Vancouver disappointment.
God, it's going to be a fun evening of action. It's just so hard to sleep.
Hey, Jim, you can add on the Dodgers San Francisco game. Just full game under 8.5 -109. Current line at Pinnacle.
Wow, interesting. Full game under 8.5. Can you review all of your action, my friend?
Right now?
Right now. Baseball. Just baseball.
Okay, I got suckered into the to the sharp trap with the Mets +123 game 1. Buto over 4.5 strikeouts +106 Caesars. Olsen under 2.5 earned runs -156 Heritage. Lively over 3.5 strikeouts -166 Caesars. Blanco under 6.5 strikeouts -141 Heritage. I understand the Oakland strikes out a lot. We'll see. Also got Oakland first half -0.5 run +165. Cincinnati first half money line +101. Dylan Cease under 8.5 strikeouts -103 Caesars, and Dodgers San Francisco under 8.5 -109. Okay.
Wow. Interesting moves here in NBA as well. Remo says Pete will be adding plays during Mike's last call show as well. So I like it. Jose Bouquett, I need today more than I've ever needed a day in baseball this year. Not about this year. There'll be worse times. I need it bad. So let's get that cash, my friend, and come rejoin us after NBA. Any last words for these cappers, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, no, shout out to you guys. Chat's on fire today. I'll be getting a haircut now later today. I can't wait. I have to make time out of my day. You know, it's funny, Jim. The opposite is true for me when it comes to sleeping. I sleep during the late games all the time. I'm like, you know what? I'll just wake up to cash in the morning. And what's funny, I texted Mike M because I texted him while the Cardinals were up 5-0. And I obviously took the Angels against him in a stake bet. I took the Cardinals, and the Angels were up 5-0. And I texted him. I said, I'm going to bed now, Mikey. But when I wake up and the Cardinals win, I'm really going to enjoy that steak from you. And then, of course, I woke up. The first thing I checked was that game, and I saw their 8-run inning, and I just had a good laugh out of it. So sometimes, Jimmy, it can turn out well. Sometimes it can turn out good. So sleep during your action, and maybe you'll have a good morning. Sleep during your action, and maybe you'll even have a horrible, horrible morning. So shout out to all you guys. Pete, it's nice to see you as always.
Yeah.
No ketchup stains on that blouse. No ketchup stains on the blouse.
I mean, I'm sure it is somewhere. Sometimes you just got to avert your eyes from shit you don't want to see, right?
It's okay. If you're going to have a ketchup stain, make sure it's, I don't know, Canada Day or some shit. Jose, I'm not entirely sure what to do with that monologue that you just gave us. What should I just care fucking less? Is that what you want me to do? Care? When do I care less? I don't know. But if it works for you to go to sleep when your action's on, then God bless you, because all we need are winners. Let's see if we can get them here in NBA. Let's switch lanes into the hardwood, and we have 2 spectacular basketball games here. So let's get to work. Pistol Pete Loshak set up our East semifinals game 5, Pacers Knicks.
All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Even series. Both teams a little banged up. Knicks more banged up, though, right? Are the Knicks cooked, or can they fight back here? I don't know. I don't really know. I was thinking that one way or another, probably first quarter under is a decent play. Maybe first half under is a decent play. How hamstrung are the Knicks by their injuries right now? Not exactly sure. They are favorites, or at least last time I checked, they were favorites. Now they're down to 1.5. Seems like the Pacers are clearly the team. But here in Game 5, Knicks at home, maybe you don't necessarily want to bet on them, but Knicks seem banged up. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Right now, if you gave me a free play before hearing it, I would chuck it on a first quarter under.
Well, I found this series, in fact, both of these series, they have not been that difficult. And if I'm going to follow the pattern that the Knicks needed to lose like that in Game 4. They needed to lose like that. They needed to regroup and go home. It's funny, this Pacers team, you watch, they fear me. There's no fear at all betting against this Pacers team. Now, we know that they've run the Knicks into the ground. My biggest fear is that a team like the Boston Celtics will make the NBA Finals after playing the Heat without Butler, playing the Cavs without Jared Allen and now Mitchell. And then either of these two teams, and then they'll go into the finals. It'll be the easiest road that we've ever seen in the history of sports. I think the Knicks bounce back here. I really, really do. And that's easy to say. I think the Knicks win this basketball game. In saying that, seeing Troy Torrance on the Pacers and wine time on the Pacers does make me feel very uncomfortable. New York right now at -1.5. They opened up at -2.5. They got to 2, now 1.5. So there's been this move, towards the Pacers. From a total standpoint here, we have a 217, -107 to the over. This opened up at 217.5, and it's done that U-shaped movement. It got down to 215.5 before it started climbing back up. When we get to the cash flow here in this one, here we go. The cash flow, we have 53% of tickets, 60% of the cash on the Pacers, 90% of tickets, 89% of cash on the over. That surprises me. Troy Torrance says market moves towards road teams in games 5 and 6 and 7. They're 10-4 against the spread. For whatever reason, the market just doesn't concern me as much when we get to the playoffs as it does in the regular season. Right now, in the playoffs, the Pacers are shooting the ball very well. 49.5 from the field in the playoffs, 52 in the series, 36.8 from 3 in the playoffs, 41.5 in this series. And for the Knicks, it's pretty easy to explain what's going on with the Knicks. It's pretty easy. Jerry Davis played the Pacers team total over 107. Says Knicks minus Mitchell and Anunoby are not as good as the Pacers. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not, to win Game 5 at home, you don't necessarily need to be the better team based on the sum of your parts here. Tori Coker says, listen, Milwaukee didn't have Giannis or Dame. Milwaukee blew them out at home. Knicks easy. And Wine Time sees sharps on the Pacers. Enough Flush Allen says still working on the team total for the Knicks. Doesn't see either team slowing the pace down. The Pacers cannot stop anyone. So it was a dominating victory for the Pacers, and it was just enormously successful for the Operation Garcia. The Pacers got up by 43. The 32-point margin of defeat was the 5th largest franchise history for the Knicks. And, I kind of like it for Knicks backers. We know Randall out for the season. Mitchell Robinson likely out for the season. OG Anunoby, I do not expect him to come back anytime soon. Jalen Brunson, did not look good. Again, he looked terrible in those 2 games in Indiana, 16 of 43 and 2 from 11 from 3-point range. The Knicks have been so bad in first quarters. Anybody who wants the Pacers in the first quarter, I understand. Now, I wouldn't do it here after the Knicks got completely embarrassed. But, in the other 3 quarters, the Knicks have been very good. But not in that first quarter. They've been outscored by 11.7 points per 100 possessions in the first quarter. They've trailed in 7 of their 9 playoff games in double digits. We know that this defense is not going to be as good without Anunoby. I mean, we know that. We know that not only will their defense be not as good, but their offense does not look good with Hartenstein and Achua at the 5 and the 4. One thing, though, that's important here, and this is what's led me towards the Knicks, and I'm okay with losing money on this spot. No, I shouldn't say that, but I'm okay to go down with the Knicks here in Game 5 at home. In Anunoby's 320 minutes in the playoffs, the Knicks defense has been bad. 118.3 points allowed per 100 possessions. It's all about want. And after getting absolutely embarrassed, I think the Knicks are going to have a lot of want to play their best defensively. We know that the league-wide efficiency, not with these two teams, their efficiency's been out of orbit. It's just been spectacular, but league-wide efficiency has been lower in the playoffs. And, we talk about, Brunson being hurt. Look, Halliburton's hurt. And, Nembhard and Halliburton and McConnell pushing the ball up the floor, it just doesn't concern me that much. I don't, if you can't defend, I don't really care how healthy you are. Look, it's easy to win games 3 and 4 when you're down 2-0 at home in front of your fans. Now go do it in New York at Madison Square Garden. I challenge the Pacers to do it. At this point, I'm not getting talked off of the Knicks.
Wow.
I do not. I want one of the most important things in sports is to not believe what you just saw. It's so important. And I don't believe what we just saw. And you'd go do that in Madison Square Garden. I don't think they're going to.
Well, there's big debate going on in the comments section. BJ and Tori Coker strongly agreeing with what you're saying. Strongly agrees with Tori Coker. Nutflush Allen half agreeing, not necessarily saying that the Knicks are the play, but Knicks team total over looks appealing to him. On the other side, we got Troy Torrance. We got looks like Saturated. You got looks like maybe Wine Time Sports. A lot of people who Robert Martin. A lot of people. Saying just for various reasons, it's just the Knicks just aren't going to be able to do it. This is a tough one. As always, Nutflush Allen may have the right idea, which is to take the Knicks, not necessarily on the spread, but on the team total over.
Kong Slips, I think it is the same in the Denver-Minnesota series. Look, I was all over Denver going back to Minnesota. You guys know that. I think it's applicable in both of these spots. I really do. Wow. Not to believe what you just saw is applicable in both these spots. At this point, nothing that's been said here gets me off of the Knicks. Look, there was a ton of backers with the Minnesota Timberwolves after what happened in Denver. And when you look at these rosters, in the most important situation, who do you trust? Now, you could say, look, I trust Halliburton to score. That's fine. I trust Brunson to score. That's fine. We know that the Knicks are not a very good team without Anunoby. They were 13 and 16 without him, and since they're 26 and 5 with him. I just when it all comes down to it, and the game is on the line, the Pacers don't defend. They just don't, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to bet the Knicks here. I just want to talk it out. Pete, are you leaning towards moving on a side or a total?
No, I'll be interested to see who winds up being right. Free play right now, I would probably I would just tail Nutflush Allen's opinion and just take the Knicks team total over. So maybe if the Pacers win in a high-scoring game, the team total over cashes. If the Knicks do win, more likely not to be a higher-scoring game. That's an interesting situation. I mean, Knicks are clearly pretty banged up, right? That's for real, right?
The Knicks are very banged up. They're very banged up, but look, Troy saying I trust DiVincenzo to shoot 80% from 3. There's lots of different angles to have confidence in your action. If you guys and Lucky Lefty on first quarter Pacers, Knicks have been terrible on first. Look, if you like the Pacers, I'm not here to talk you off of it. We're just here to talk about angles and figure out what we like. What's happened so far in the playoffs is when a team steps up for a couple games, then they fall off. If you keep believing in that team that stepped up for 2 games, you got crushed. You lost a ton of money. So,
and Nutflush Allen with the first ever no comment, which first ever, but I like it. He goes, ask yourself, do you truly believe Indy is saying, okay, boys, we haven't played lockdown defense all year. Let's start tonight. No.
And Colin, I'm not on Minnesota. Jerry James says it wasn't just Denver, Jimmy. The Nuggets were fortunate to even be there against my Lakers, who are not very good. The Nuggets not as good as last year. Well, they're good enough to go into Minnesota and everybody, jerking them off, the Wolves. Everyone's saying how incredible they are and destroy them. So, look, a lot of talk about how Denver's not that good. I just, I'm a believer of going against what people just saw. It was hugely successful for me in the Denver series, and I'm going to stick to it. And if you guys want to believe what you just saw, I wish you the best of luck. But I'm going to bet the Knicks. I'm going to move on the Knicks, and we'll see how it all bangs out. And I wish you guys luck. And we know now if the Knicks lose, a lot of my friends cash, and if the Pacers lose, then me and a bunch of my friends cash. Is there anything you want to make official here, Pete?
I mean, the Knicks put up 89 in the last game. They might not have the horses to win, but do they have the horses to put up 110?
If this game goes over, it plays right in the Pacers' hands.
Right.
So no, I don't like a Knicks team total over. The Knicks got to make this a brawl.
Oof. Especially since the first 2 games at the Garden went way over. So now people are like, of course it's going to go over. But then it comes in and it's a brawl, at least to start. Wow.
Nice job, Philly Eagle Flyer cashing in. Phillies tied after 2. I love it. That's a great look. A lot of people are following it now, much closer. Philly Eagle Flyer. We're thankful that you brought it to the table. And yeah, Jerry, no, they're worse than 50% without him. This Pacers team, if you can't defend, I don't know how you got this far. And in the most important moments, Madison Square Garden. Look, I don't need to say anymore. It's totally fine being on the opposite sides of each other. That we're colleagues. We come in here, we cap, and we move on. Another thing is that if the Knicks win Game 5, I would have some interest in Pacers to win the series. This is a bet on Game 5 here. And this is the Pacers blowout. It helps the Knicks enormously. It helps the Knicks in every factor. Not even getting the fourth quarter off and getting rest, but sometimes it's good to get slapped in the face. You need to know that the Pacers were laughing at you. Their fans were laughing at you. You're going to come back to Madison Square Garden and do something about it? I believe that they will.
Wow, what a great and Torrey Coker, Knicks will win an under.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I love it. I love this series. I mean, Game 4 wasn't really fun to watch. That was fun if you're on the Operation Garcia, but look, let's go to battle. I'm on the Knicks. I'm comfortable moving on to the next game. Do you want to move, Pete?
Yeah. Wow, what a great game. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do here. All right, let's move on. Next game is Minnesota-Denver. This one, even 2-2. Road team won each game. I don't know, man. Low total. I was thinking maybe this one should be an over. Jamal Murray, of course, is playing better, so that's a big help. Denver as a 4. I don't know what was up with Denver. I don't know why they couldn't show up in the first 2 games, and then showed up in the second 2 games. But obviously, you got the same players here. Low total. My only thought on this one was that maybe one way or another, either first half or second half, this game does manage to get over. That's my thought. As far as a 4-point spread, I don't really know.
I love when players are who we thought they were. I love seeing Cat completely disappear in the most important games of his career. No surprise to any of us who've watched you lollygag around and be this enormous waste of talent. But they just got slapped in the face. You're going to see their best basketball game. Can Denver continue to play with the edge that they had in Minnesota? I don't know. I kind of talked myself off of Denver. Now, I didn't talk myself on to Minnesota. This total opened up at 207. It's now 206. And we get to the spread here. We have Denver -4. They opened up at 4.5. They've been bouncing from 4 to 4.5 to 4. It's 4 right now. Let's get to the cash flow here in this one. We have 97% of the tickets, 95% cash on the over. Just a surprise to me. You have 45% of tickets, 44% cash on the Timberwolves. So it's kind of coin flippy. So let's talk about the spot here. Minnesota in the playoffs. Shooting the ball, pretty consistently. 48.1 from the field, 36.9 overall, 48.6, 37.2 in the series. And Denver's been shooting the ball much better in this series than they have in the first round when everybody was talking shit about, them playing the Lakers. They're shooting 41.2% from three. Look, they know that they have a battle here. The Nuggets shot 55.3% over the last 2 games. So Nuggets shot 54 and 48 from 3 in game 3, then 57 and 45 from game 4. They can't shoot better than this. And Ant puts up 44 in that 115-107 loss, but he's not getting helped. Cat puts up 27 points in 2 home games, the 2 most important home games of his career. He took 7 shots in game 3 and then thought, I'm going to shoot the ball more in game 4, went 5 of 18 for 13 points. Even Naz Reid has struggled and did not look good in games 3 and 4. Aaron Gordon stepped up. Jamal Murray stepped up. Everybody was talking about Minnesota's bench. Well, it was Denver's bench that was the better bench in games 3 and games 4. In saying all of this, I fear teams that get embarrassed and get slapped in the face. I fear them. I know a lot of you guys don't fear the Knicks at home after getting completely embarrassed. I'm going to bet the Knicks. I fear the Timberwolves, but I don't want to bet them. I've not wanted to bet them since they won. Game 1, I stayed off. Game 2, I lost on Denver. Game 3 was the triple up on Denver. I don't want to fade Denver, and I don't want Minnesota after getting embarrassed at home. So at this point, I'm off. The only thing that would appeal to me is the under. I do think the under is appealing. They're playing at a pace of 92.25 possessions a game. That does appeal to me. What do you think, Pete? Is there anything you want to move on? DC Capper on the over and on Denver. BJ's on the Wolves plus 4.5. And Saturated says, anyone know how many times has a road team won the first 4 games of a series? It happens a lot more in NHL than it does in NBA. Billy Friedrich on the Nuggets trifecta. What do you think here, Pete?
I don't know, but I am going to give an official play on the Knicks game. This one, I'm going to pass. Maybe if I read the comment section, I don't know. Troy Torrance likes T-Wolves plus 4. It does seem like, at least first quarter, Minnesota, first half. I'm just worried that Denver's too good, like the Boston Florida series.
Yeah, you poked the bear. Now you got to deal with the bear. So, Wine Time Sports, Timberwolves plus 4.5 for 2 units. This is going to be a great live betting situation. And I'll really only be looking at Denver, even if Minnesota gets way down. I like, the thing is that, I talked about it before here. The Denver Nuggets, they despise Minnesota. They hate them. And I told you guys I got in a fight with this guy named Reed Pelly, and he hated me so much. Like, he just hated me. I've never been hated by somebody so much in my life. And I didn't care about Reed Pelly. Fuck do I care about this guy? And so, he beat me up in our fight because he was blind rage. And here, Denver hates Minnesota. And Jamal Murray was humiliated. His team was humiliated on their home court. Isaiah Scurry in the house. What up, Isaiah, my guy? So, you guys, with your bullishness on Minnesota and Minnesota just getting embarrassed, I'll be happy to get talked off of Denver. I'll look to get in on them live at some point in the game. And I'm going to be on the Knicks. And I can't wait to go to battle with my friends on the Pacers, you know.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Jim, on that game. Nut Flush Allen likes the Knicks team total over. Tory Coker is all about the Knicks. He's like, trust me, the Knicks win, game goes under, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do Indiana Pacers team total under 108 minus 109. Indiana Pacers team total under 108 minus 109. It just kind of hit me. Of course, Indiana has been explosive offensively. So like, what? They put up 120, 115. Now you're going to take the under 108 in this kind of game? Yes, maybe so. Maybe the Knicks come out gritty. They put up some points. The refs let them play strong D. And, in other series, the Pacers were held down here and there. So we're going to take Pacers team total under 108 minus 109 as my only NBA play for tonight.
I like it. In my only NBA play pregame looks like it's going to be the Knicks. I'm not going to, I keep going back to it, but when you get embarrassed, you sharpen everything up. Everything sharpens up. And those two teams that were embarrassed are the Knicks and the Timberwolves. And
huge shout out to Tory Coker and Nut Flush Allen reading all their comments, and everyone else as well, reading all their comments, seeing what and you Jimmy the bag, listening to everyone reading all their comments. I think we got a winner here. Pacers team total under.
Mal OG ain't coming back anytime soon, man. Look. We went through it for years. Calf strain. See you in 6 weeks, I guess. And Mikey Money says teams who won to then drop to in the NBA are 4-0 outright. So that's what this playoff season, obviously small sample size, but I get it. It's important, Mikey. It's important, and it backs me up with the Knicks and backs everybody else up with the Timberwolves. Billy Friedrich adding Joker triple-double plus 188. Joe Yurkovich says Wolves were embarrassed in Game 3, did not bounce back in Game 4. No, they did not. No, they did not, Joe. You're absolutely right. They did not. And, now they're, coming back after losing both games at home. So I still feel like they're in that embarrassed spot. But you're right. No, they didn't. They didn't. Okay. Mally Mulligan, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin tonight. And Michael Porter Jr.'s PRA is what not flush. So we'll close with that and then go over all action and put a bow on today's show. Michael Porter Jr., he is sitting with PRA at, here we go. See this, there's Cat. I bet you Cat shoots, it's easy to say, but he's got to step up here. Everybody talking shit about him. He's at 22.5 MPJ, 22.5 juice to the under. 22.5 juice to the under. All right, so just the Knicks for me this evening in NBA, and I'll leave the Nuggets off. Tory Coker is adding my parlay to the Florida Edmonton with Knicks and Denver. Oh, I like it, Tory. That'll pay beautifully. All right, let's review all action here, Pete, and put a bow on today's show. I'm on Florida and Edmonton. Yeah, it's square. And I also parlayed them. And I'm adding the first period under 1.5 in Boston, Florida. And that's it. That's it for NHL for me. Pete, your NHL action and review?
Oh, yeah, that's Kachuk. Assist minus 105. Reinhardt over 3.5 shots plus 124 bet online. Joining you all on Florida minus 127 bet online. The next game, Nugent Hopkins assist plus 100 bet online. Riding them Tyus Ekholm train. One more game, point. Goal or assist plus 141 bet online. And then Evander Kane, he's got some shit sticking out of his belly. No point at minus 154 bet online. Also leaning the under 2.5 shots in Kane, but I'm just worried that he might put up 3 shots from 15 feet out and get over. So just no point, minus 154.
We have reviewed all of MLB with Jose. Jose, why don't you jump back on with us? I don't think we need to go through everything again unless somebody asks for it in the chat. We just reviewed all of MLB action. We've hammered the board pretty hard. Pete coming off a 12-3 show with us, wanting to go back to back. And Jose, are you moving on any NBA tonight?
No betting association. No thanks.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about these two games. This is just mad. This is as fun as basketball gets here. I love it. Robert Martin, loving the Kane investment. Thank you guys, all of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for your support. Robert Martin, DC Capper, Billy Friedrich. Yes, of course, Billy. Of course, we will review our MLB action. Anyone who wants it, we'll give it to him. Of course. So I'll do mine first, then we'll go around the horn, then we'll put a bow on the show. For MLB, for me, sorry, let me move over here.
Hey, do you mind if I jet out of here, Jimmy the Bag? I got some shit kind of got to do.
Not at all, but then can you review your action for Billy Friedrich quickly in MLB?
In MLB? Okay, sure. Well, Mets game is already off, so thankfully you avoided 2 losers there. Mets plus 123 and Buto over 4.5 strikeouts. Olsen under 2.5 earned runs, minus 156 Heritage. Lively over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 166 Caesars. Blanco under 6.5 strikeouts, minus 141 Heritage, despite the fact that Oakland strikes out a hell of a lot. I know that. It's risky. Oakland first 5, minus a half, plus 165. Cincinnati Reds first 5, money line, plus 101. Dylan Cease under 8.5 strikeouts, minus 103 Caesars, and LA San Francisco under 8.5, minus 109. All those plays extremely risky now that I look at them, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be all right.
I love these Tuesdays, Pete.
Hell yeah.
May Brooklyn bless all of your action. Thank you for rolling with us. Please support Pete on X at P Loshak, and enjoy that prune juice, Pete. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Oh, no, that's it. Hopefully everyone wins today, except for the Knicks game, which it's impossible, literally impossible for everyone in the comment section to win in the Knicks game. But hopefully with everything else, everyone wins. I'll see y'all next Tuesday.
There he is, Pistol Pete Loshak. We have the bases juiced here at Citi Field. So it's 0-0, top of the third. Ducks on the pond for the Phillies, but 2 out, 1-0 count on Bohm. For me, I've got decisions to make, and I got time to make them. First 5 under 4 in the Mitchell Parker Eric Fetty. That's game 2 of the double dip in Washington. Then I'm very interested in joining Jose in that under 8 at minus 150. Oh, we have a run for Philadelphia. What was it? Hit by that? Did Bohm get hit?
I have PTSD about that, so
I think
it's great.
Yes, Bohm got hit by pitch. So I'm interested in that under 8. I've got the first 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5 in Miami, Detroit. Loshak is Olsen under 2.5 earned runs. The max bet from Lamont Williams is that Tampa Bay Boston under 8.5, which has gone to 9. Your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today is Tampa in the under 8.5 plus 340. I'm going to move on Aaron Savali in Tampa. I'm going to be on the Cubs in the under. I'm going to be on the Pirates in the under. And I have some interest in that Oakland-Houston under. I want to study it more. I'm going to be on that St. Louis LA Angels under. That if the juice isn't too much of that 7.5. I'm on the first 5 under 4 in Colorado, San Diego. I got off Colorado first 3 plus half and first 5 plus a half. Then the under in the minus 1 for Seattle, minus 1, and the under in Kansas City, Seattle. And that is my card. Jose Bouquett, can you review your action in MLB?
Yep, kind of a dense card. Guardians over 9 minus 120. I'd like to see it. I'm hoping that's a 9.5 at this point, but I'm assuming it's still a 9. I think it seems like Jack Leiter might have a decent day, which is concerning, but it's all right. It's all right. It's still juiced to the over 9.5 or 9, excuse me. So we'll see how that goes. But that's my first bet. Blue Jays, Orioles under 8 minus 115. Cardinals, Angels under 7.5 minus 115. Rockies, Padres under 7 even money. Nationals money line for game 2 minus 109. Yankees minus 113. A's money line plus 155. And my third run line of the season, Seattle Mariners minus 1.5 plus 140. Getting cute, BJ. I know you're out there watching. Getting cute over there. And I also bet the Vancouver Canucks. And also, congratulations, chat. I am getting a haircut after the show.
Oh, that's wonderful. Don't be afraid to trim that bottom mouth of yours as well, Jose.
Oh, no. The bottom mouth stays, Harry. Just how Helga likes it.
Oh, God.
It's 2 shows in a row.
Oof.
And it's nice to see Turnsy in the chat. I haven't seen you in a while, Turnsy.
Nice to have Turnsy back in business. DC Capper, I'm that Heat, Mally Mal, Robert Martin, the Nuke Worker, Tory Coker, Saturated, the Dapper Capper, Mally Mal, nice to have Turnsy back in business. Billy Friedrich. Did you know also, Billy Friedrich, this was the comment section in our show on Thursday. This was the comment section. So on Thursday, it was for the Canes game. Canes Rangers. Billy Friedrich said, I think Canes take an early lead and Rangers send it to another OT game and win it there 3-2. That's exactly what happened. TJ said, we'll be betting the Rangers for the 7th straight playoff game. Cannot fathom how they're plus 150. That happened. Slatsy says, you could do worse than grabbing the draw here. That happened. That's the kind of chat we run with. What a spectacular job there. Spectacular job. All right. That is our show for today. Top Crocodile, Nut Flush, Allen, Joe Yurkovich. Thank you all. Robert Martin, Andrew G, Leonard Porsche Jr., Isaiah Scurry, Mr. Heat, Nasty Nate, Lil Domo. Thank you guys. Thank you, all of you. Let's go get in another run walked in for the Philadelphia Phillies. Now 2-0.
Is Edwin Diaz on the bump? Fucking asshole that guy is. You fucking play my trumpets. I'll fucking blow a lead in the fucking 9th inning. What a fucking asshole that guy is.
Jose, any last words for us before you get that haircut?
No, thank you guys as always. The chat for keeping me honest. You know, we need you as always. If I look like shit, I know you guys are the very first people to tell me. And I appreciate that honesty and sincerity from all of you. So shout out to you guys.
Sal. Look at my man Sal. Sal's going to go buy himself a capping blouse.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that, Sal.
Blouse, Sal.
Well, as they once said, game blouses. That's what I'm trying to do today.
Yeah, get your game blouse on. Get your game blouse on.
I know that reference too. Shout out to Chappelle.
Let's get this money. Let's get this money. Saturated says you're beautiful the way God made you.
I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that. Thank you very much, Saturated. I'm gonna put that one in the make me feel better about myself file. Thank you very much.
Get your money. Let's go get that cash, you guys. Los bookmakers, milk that shit, and then.